Hey everyone, my name is Kyle.
I'm Matt.
I'm Alex.
I'm Rachel.
This is Tony.
And we are Pseudo Adults. Hello and welcome to episode 166 of the Pseudo Adults podcast.
Oh my god.
We're
Oh
getting
my
dangerously close to the delicious number.
167?
Oh, it's so tasty.
Yeah, that's right. So this is a podcast. It's anywhere that you find podcasts. We're going to talk about lots of fun things that we watched and checked out, and maybe video games too. And you could follow me on Twitter at Pseudo Adults.
Sweet. You like Space Zamboni?
Yes.
Cool. Go to the Space Zamboni.
Yeah. Check out our content, youtube.com/SpaceZamboni or SpaceZamboni.com. Check out all the stuff we have and the stuff that we have to offer.
Yeah, do you like girls mukbanging food? You like guys drinking alcohol and making out?
Yeah.
Well, you found the right home.
It's all there.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Just two different variants.
Yeah, there's only two things.
Those are the only two audiences that you...
Yeah. Well, if they're watching this, they're already a members.
Hey, it's audio too. You never know.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, like, if you're listening to us only in audio, you could be a youtube.com Space Zamboni member. And
Maybe when you get home, you should, I don't know, watch it. Just a thought.
Yeah. And our podcast isn't the only exclusive that Alex puts on there for the members. So check it out. There's lots of cool stuff, like the making of really nice moves. That was cool.
Thank you.
Very cool. All right.
Yeah, you got a lot of behind the scenes stuff, a lot of other stuff that we're working on too. So hey,
You won't see this rainbow that's appearing above my head.
Oh my god.
Bro.
Majestic.
Wow.
If you're audio, sorry. You won't see it.
Wow. How do you keep doing that?
yeah,
I'm
impressive.
Oh my god, we're an exclamation mark? Why you gotta be
Edited
shit.
exclamation point.
Oh no, there's no editing here.
All of the magical rainbow above
You're just
my
gonna
head,
look silly.
That's it.
And if you want to see her look silly, you should
yeah,
probably
man.
subscribe.
Did you like rent out that unicorn on the rainbow? How'd you do that?
Comes with the magic.
Oh my god, I thought the seat was sticky.
I'm sure it does come with the magic.
And if you're a pop culture fan and wants to level up in life, check out Inner Warrior. And if you are trying to transition your career to an IT career, check out Inner Tech Warrior.
Okay, so we have a fun bunch of topics. So this episode today, you guys watch a lot of stuff. I didn't really, but I got a couple things myself. Just wondering from the past week or so, anyone got some fun things to share? Anything crazy? Any good times? Otherwise,
No good time.
Fought
no
a
good
dragon.
times. You fought a dragon? Do tell.
It was cool. That's it.
It was cool.
Yeah,
Who won?
Sick.
You know,
The
it's just-
dragon. Apparently a ghost.
It wasn't really much of a contest.
I got stuck in a well
Oh my god.
for the whole week. It was really,
Wow.
really the worst week.
Did you see a girl?
I was
with really long
screaming
hair?
and I was like, Tony, and Tony didn't hear me. And I was
I was
screaming
watching
from
a dragon
the backyard.
fight.
I was screaming from and I was stuck there and I was like, all right, this is where it's happening. I'm just going to sit right here. So
Sit here and make rainbows.
Yeah.
But I can't
where you
climb
learn
on
your
those
magic.
fictional rainbows that are being edited in right now.
Nope.
I heard Tony grew an extra inch. That was
Oh
exciting.
my
Yeah,
god.
Yeah, that's actually
Looking
true.
Taller.
Yeah.
I thought there was something different about Tony.
I hate everyone. He grew an inch taller, but he still couldn't rescue me from the hole.
Yeah.
Again, I was watching Matt's dragon fight.
I was streaming it, so I was like, I didn't really need to be there though.
As I'm screaming in the background.
Yeah.
On the stream, I'm
Yeah,
like,
I was-
what's that screaming?
I was streaming it next to a well. I don't know.
I thought you were streaming her stuck in a well.
All the comments were like, what's that screaming in the background? And he's like, what's screaming? I don't hear anything.
Yeah. Also, side note, I pushed someone into a well this past.
Side note, it was me. It was me.
What?
I was in that well.
Wow.
That couldn't have been you.
A whole week.
She was wearing a
It
different
started to
sweater.
flood when it was raining. And I was like, blah, 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 blah.
That's how you got out. You're able to swim out.
That was it.
At least you know how to swim. I would have drowned in that well.
Yeah, me too.
I almost, my head was like this.
Ooh.
It was like this.
She's wearing this sweatshirt that said "Push me." Oh, well.
Yeah.
It said fight me, and you just went, okay.
Yeah.
And
Fight
that's-
over.
A short fight. This lady's right next to a well.
Matt's fight was short too.
Yeah, he fought a dragon.
Yeah, but then you guys left me there for a week, and that was the long part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you eat to survive?
Nothing.
Oh,
all right.
I almost died.
So you
I was
died.
drinking the dirty water that was filling up in there, and that was the only thing keeping me alive.
Oh,
I'm sure there was
you're
some
making me
delicious
hungry.
bacteria that
I'm
gave you
sure there
protein.
was. Yeah.
Maybe a couple of dead birds that you could just like slurped on.
No, birds didn't go down there. There was no light. I couldn't see anything.
There's no light.
Damn.
There was no light, just a hole. Like,
Now you know how Bane feels.
Yeah, that's
I was
true.
born in the darkness, raised in it,
Yeah.
But you just fell in it.
sculpted by it.
Yeah.
But I was also sculpted by it. A lot of trauma. A lot of trauma this week. That was it.
So it seems like the first thing you did upon getting out of the well was go to see this new Evil Dead movie.
Yes, I
huh?
did. We went and saw it.
You could have eaten, you could have showered, but no.
Everybody had. That means nobody's gonna sit next to me,
Yeah.
which is the best part.
So you got that going for
Yeah,
you.
so I got that,
Nice.
which is nice. You sit on the throne of lies.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, so me and Tony have been for the past 2 months. While I was off and on sick, have been watching Evil Dead, and we've been catching up on all the old Evil Deads, beginning to end, counting the show and the new movie. I fell in love with Bruce Campbell as he aged.
Aging
It was
Bruce Campbell.
it was like fine wine to me. When he was younger, I was like, I don't know. And then as he got older, I was like, okay, all right, Bruce Campbell's it. Bruce Campbell's it.
Daddy Bruce.
So
Yeah.
he like grows into like the campiness or the goofiness or like what is it that
manliness.
just being manly?
Yeah.
Hmm.
He was like, I feel like in the beginning he was like scrawny, in like the very
the first
beginning.
one?
like, the
Yeah, yeah.
very
Oh, okay.
beginning. He didn't like. I don't know. He embodied the character so well that
Yeah.
it's hard for you to even separate.
Right. You
You know,
didn't always
from the
have that
character.
macho man Randy Savage body.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have anything?
Yeah, it's just it's interesting when you watch it from beginning to end how
Right.
it changes. Like, right, so the first Evil Dead is more serious, like it's not as campy, and then you go into the second one, it's like became a cartoon, you know, and then
Campy.
the third one was
Even the first one was a little campy.
well, yeah, but that
little bit.
probably wasn't intentional.
Yeah.
But as they went along, it became like more intentional, where it's just like, oh, let's make it fun and goofy and things like that. And the third one was just a straight up comedy. Like that one is just
Daddy said almost bankrupt him and ruined his marriage.
yeah,
Daddy
Wow.
said, yeah.
But all the movies were good. Like you enjoyed them all.
yeah.
I enjoyed them
It's not-
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So none of them deserved to be flops, but I guess at least the third one was.
Third one was. I could see why the third one was.
Well,
But I love the third one.
Yeah,
that
third
one's
one's good
iconic.
comic.
Yeah. Army
Yeah.
of Darkness is great.
I can see coming in from the other two and then going to the third one. I can see why you're like, okay. I could see it's cool, campy wise, you know.
well, the
Yeah.
third one was the first one with like a real studios, Universal
Yeah.
Studios. So that's why they like even I don't even think it was as gory as the other ones at all.
Nah.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
but yeah. So we watched those. Then we watched Ash versus Evil Dead.
Which is a fantastic show.
It's also
That
a
is-
comedy, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
comedy, but it like still follows the same line of everything, and all the same concepts are the same, and they followed it really well. And Bruce Campbell is still the same like guy from the other movies, and it's very good.
And if you like Peacemaker, you'll like that because
You'll
I
like-
definitely think
yeah.
they took elements.
Oh, I think so, yeah.
yeah.
I started watching it. And I'm like, this is definitely a show I want to like focus on and come back to and finish. Like I want to finish like the stupid shit I'm watching and be like, now I'm gonna watch this show start to finish.
Yeah, it's
Very
really good.
And we also saw Bruce Campbell live last weekend, last
Whoa.
Saturday. Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He was really funny. He had the guy from Impractical Jokers on
Oh,
there.
you gotta if you're in our area, you have to have Impractical
Yeah.
Jokers with
He had
you.
one of the guys, but everybody was booing that guy all the
Why?
time. I don't know. Did you?
They're harmless, I thought.
Yeah,
Unless
they
I
were
don't know
booing-
something.
He's the bigger guy with the beard, brown hair.
Yeah, the longer hair a little bit.
The longer
yeah.
hair guy. He was the one that was on because he's a huge fan of Bruce Campbell. Like a
How
huge
dare
fan. Bruce Campbell was actually on the Impractical
Maybe they're just saying
Jokers.
Bruce,
Yeah, yeah.
like a Springsteen concert.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. We didn't even know he was there. He was like, oh, we still, because it was a contestant show. So it was like a pop culture knowledge contestant
Oh.
show on stage.
That's
and
fun.
he was the host. And then they invited, like, you would answer questions through this link that they had. And whoever got the most got to come on stage and do whatever and answer questions. And then they had one blank spot. And he goes, "Oh, I'm gonna invite one of my friends on," and he invited one of the Practical Jokers to do the to be the other person.
Yeah.
But there was one guy there who owned or worked at a comic shop and
Oh,
was like ham.
comic book man.
Yeah. It's
God.
basically comic
He
book
won,
man.
and they gave
Actually,
him,
the Evil Dead number 3.
like a box
They are in
from Warner
cahoots.
Brothers
Yeah,
or
they're on a
whatever, from
podcast
the new-
together, actually.
Yeah, they're like on a new. They gave him the winner got a box full of I guess merchandise
Condoms.
that they gave.
Yeah, so it's
Like it
cigarettes.
looks like the book from
Used
the
Bruce Campbell's
original
semen.
movies, and then they have like a whole bunch of other merchandise in it.
Yeah.
He was nice. He answered Q&As and like said there was a lot of blood being used, but this new movie had almost as much blood as like the original ones. Because one of the girls from the original ones almost drowned from the blood being like spilled on her. She was
Damn.
inhaling it
Ew.
and almost drowned. Yeah. So
Did you get to meet him?
no, you had to pay extra.
Oh damn.
Okay. But
It's
But you got to
close
see him.
Yeah, I got to
you
see
got
him.
to throw a rock at him?
Yeah.
I wish
We could
No,
have.
just kidding. Why would I do
It's
that?
close enough.
Give him a heart and be like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, if
Yeah,
you
you
weren't
could
married
lasso
and
him.
had kids,
You didn't boo him like the Impractical Joker?
Oh my god.
how could you?
He would have loved that.
Even
Yeah.
he was very brutal in certain things. he
Brutal.
said. But like brutal in a nice way, I guess.
No, like in
I
a
don't
funny,
understand
like
what that
acting way.
means. What does that mean?
No, it's just like the example we told you guys before, where there was a kid who wanted his
yeah.
his pop signed, and he's like,
No.
no, he's like, I'm here answering questions. I'm not here to bring up the monetary value of your pop.
You could pay more to get things signed by him earlier before the show, and it was like more. And then there was the show and the Q&A, and then they played the
Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness, and he talked about it, about how almost bankrupt him, and he talked about Sam Raimi's car. He also talked about Tobey Maguire and how mean Tobey Maguire was to
surprised.
him.
Oh my
He
god.
didn't know
Yeah.
who he was, so he showed up in every movie, and he's like, "Oh, you're back again? Why are you back again?" Yeah, Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire parents say, "Oh, I guess it can't be a Sam Raimi film without you in it."
Bruce Campbell. in it, yeah.
Yeah,
God damn.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, how he wasn't crazy
That's
nice.
crazy.
Yeah.
And he talked about how they met, how Sam Raimi and him met in high school, and how he was raising his hand answering a question, and Sam Raimi put the tip of his pencil to the back of his neck, and he was like, "What the hell is going on?" Blah blah blah. And afterwards, he turned around and he goes, "Man, what the hell is your problem?" And he goes, "I was just trying to help you answer a question." Like how quirky Sam Raimi actually is.
Yeah, he said the one time he saw him in the middle of like the hallway, dressed like Sherlock Holmes, like,
Sitting on the floor.
He's sitting on the
playing
floor
with, like-
playing with something.
Yeah. So, and then they became friends, but in
Yeah.
the beginning he was
And
like
he
that
made Spider-Man movies.
weird. He was that weird kid but they became really good friends.
Did he talk about Multiverse of Madness at all?
Yeah, he did. He did.
What a
A
piece
little
of
bit.
Amazing
People were like,
media.
"Ooh," and they were like, yeah, his
Cinematic
cars and everything. He talked about his car.
Yeah.
in every movie.
Yeah.
and even a Western movie he made, he like broke it down and put it like in or under. Was it
On the Western, he
wagon or
made it the
something?
carriage. Like he broke down the car
wow.
to make it the carriage, just so
Yeah.
it's in the movie.
Just so it's in the movie. And then how like he would go to like where the set he was working on something and go to Sam Raimi's set just to go visit. And he was like, "All right, we're gonna use you as a double." And he goes, "Now I want you to make him look like he's the drunkest, most despicable person in this whole set." And they did like everything with him just to get rid of this one actor that was harassing Sam Raimi, and about the character. Like the character was like a cowboy and his daughter was like a prostitute, and he was like, that's not really my character, and he was harassing Sam Raimi about it. And Sam Raimi was like, "I just want this guy out." So he used Bruce Campbell to film a scene that the guy defended his daughter the way that the actor wanted, and then when they were done, he was like, "Yeah." He turned to Bruce Campbell and was like, "We're not even like, what did he say?
We weren't even rolling.
we weren't even rolling." He goes, "It was just to make this guy be quiet."
Oh my god.
He got punched a lot in those scenes.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
like, he doesn't need a stunt double. He'll do it himself. It's like, yeah. So,
You guys kind of triggered a memory that I went to a taping of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert when it was like, and it's like maybe like first year, like after he switched from the Colbert Report to that, and Bruce Campbell was his main guest on that episode. I have no clue what he was promoting at the time. In fact, I think he came out with Lucy Lawless, like Xena.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing I remembered was like he was like, I do an impression of you to Steven, and he was like, really? And he like brought like different glasses, like his Colbert Report glasses, and he like tapped the pencil. It's like, Nation. It's like, that's it.
He's a chill dude. He brought a little kid up on stage and was like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And he's like, "I want to be a director." And he goes, "Oh, of course you get off the stage. Get off the stage. Of course you want to be a director. Get off the stage."
No, but what I thought was cool too is that when the kid came on stage, the mom was trying to come on stage. She's like, "No, I'm talking to the kid.
I'm not talking to you. You see, you could sit in the first row, but your kid's gonna come on stage.
Yeah, because the mom was trying to answer for the kid too. He's like, "No, I'm asking him."
I'm asking him where he lives. I'm not asking you where he lives."
Wow.
Yeah, he goes, "Oh, what are you gonna be, a helicopter mom?" Like,
What's the code to your house, kid?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
What's the code to your front door? Not asking you, ma. Oh
I
shit!
think
What
they
the
asked
fuck?
which one was his favorite film to do.
The umbilical cord, ma.
I forgot which one he said.
What
His favorite film was.
Oh, his favorite film that he worked on? Oh, I don't remember.
I think he said the third one was interesting because it was a studio.
I thought he said he couldn't choose because they were so different. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But he said that the show isn't going to continue because everybody was pirating the show.
Arr.
And he goes, it's because of all you guys. He goes, the show's not continuing. He was like, it was the most pirated show on like that platform.
On Stars, yeah.
Well, it's on Stars.
Yeah.
That's your problem. It's not that it's pirated.
Yeah.
Your problem is that you put it on Stars.
Yeah.
Duh.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said too that people were like, "There's an Ash versus Evil Dead show." Now that it was on Netflix, everyone's watching. He's like, "Guys, where were you?" Like,
Yeah.
so
Netflix has picked up shows again.
yeah.
This guy's got to get his cigar out of his ass.
Well, apparently he was talking to Sam Raimi about it, and they said that they might create like an animated continuation
That'd be cool.
of it.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
So we'll see.
That always seems like the go-to. Just continue it through animation.
That's so much easier.
I don't mean, I'm not changing the topic, but
CGI?
that's apparently what they're doing with Stranger Things. Also, they're like, let's make an animated like thing in the same.
Like a spin-off?
Story. Yeah, they haven't announced specifics. They're probably gonna wait till the show's over. So I want to hear about this movie. Let's hear about the new Evil Dead.
the new movie.
Okay. All right. So now everybody can chime in.
Oh, did you guys like it at least?
I liked it, considering that I think the remake, the film before this one, was okay.
I like that one too, actually.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I was like, it was okay. You know,
yeah.
it was a straight horror. There was no
Yeah,
like comedy
no.
parts of it.
No.
Yep.
I said it
But I
was a
liked it.
horror movie. I go, but for me, I think the comedy has like grown so into Evil Dead that like, how do you even have an Evil Dead shit like movie without a little bit of comedy in it
Yeah.
that makes you laugh? I think that's what makes Evil Dead, and that's what made it like to what it is now.
Differentiated from all the different horror things that are zombie things that are out
So
there.
this movie I really liked because it had that like parts where people were laughing.
Yep.
And then there was serious parts too. And I like that they're trying to branch away also, that they're like, this is
no
the
longer
third
Bruce
book.
Campbell.
Yeah, Bruce Campbell said he didn't want to do it because he's too old now. He was like, I can't do
He can't get knocked
to
around
do
anymore. He's
same
gonna break a
things that I
hip.
used to do.
Yeah, well, I saw they were already talking about crossing over, though.
They were. At one point, they were the last film. They said that it was in two different universes, and
Yeah.
they were going to have the protagonist that survives in that film team up with Bruce
Ash,
Campbell,
yeah.
with Ash, because they're both like kind of like the female.
Yeah,
yeah.
literally the same.
They said that movie was if Bruce Campbell never found the book. That was that one. The remake was like if Bruce Campbell never found the book and somebody came like 10, 20 years later and they found the book, that what would happen. But they said in this film there are like 3 books. I think I read something about it yesterday saying that he went to Sam Raimi and said, would it be okay if I go, Bruce Campbell has 1 book from the obviously from the
Army of Darkness, where there was
it
3 of them.
3
Yeah.
books.
Yeah.
So Bruce Campbell has 1 book. That film, that the remake has the other book, and this film has the 3rd book, and they're all different. I guess.
With teeth.
Well, with
Yeah.
teeth. When it started, I went, "That's not the book."
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it only
That's
has a
not the
face
book.
on
It
it.
had
Yeah.
a face on the front, but this had like teeth on the side.
Yeah, teeth on the side.
It was different, but
I'm so sorry.
I like the
Blood.
direction they went
Yeah.
with this. It was a different direction. I enjoyed it, honestly.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
I love this movie. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah,
was awesome.
I really enjoy. I can see how somebody who
People
hasn't
like walked
seen
out during the movie.
Yeah, I can see how people who don't know Evil Dead walked out during it. It's a lot of blood. Evil Dead has always been
It's a splatter
fountains and fountains of blood. That's literally like you think of Evil Dead, you think of blood. Even in the show, they do. There's so much. Every scene when they open the title screen is somebody getting splattered in the face with blood.
We should be sponsored by like American Red Cross.
Really, at this
Or
point.
Tampax.
Yeah. They said they have gallons. He said they have gallons of blood. He said wait for this movie. This movie has a lot of blood. He said because somebody asked during the Q&A, speaking of which, which movie had the most blood, and he goes, every movie had a lot of blood. He goes, I wasn't keeping count of how much blood there was, but he goes, this movie had a lot of blood. Like obviously, you know.
He's a producer on it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie was basically like it's a reboot of the franchise. Like it kind of like told like a new origin story to
Yeah,
it.
I would think. I think they
It's like a side story.
Yeah.
It was like, what if
future.
that evil came to an apartment building? Like, followed somebody to... And then they connected it back to... I really loved... They connected it back to the forest. Because I was like, how are they going to do this? The Evil Dead is always in a forest. Not always, but like, it starts in a forest.
Yeah.
It starts
cabin.
in the cabin. It starts in a cabin, per se. How are they going to tie this to an apartment building? How are they going to explain how the evil got
Yep.
to there? And they did a pretty good job doing that and tying it all back and tying in a little bow that they didn't even need cut scenes at the end of the movie or mid-credit scenes to explain anything,
Yeah.
which was nice.
Which was nice.
Which is nice.
Yeah. For like a movie that I really enjoyed, there's still like a lot that's like, oh, that was a little silly or that was weird or whatever. But like even me and John driving home talking about it, I'm like, yeah, but it was fine. It was like I still loved it somehow. I wasn't like nitpicking or.
That's because it's Evil Dead, and that's
I
Evil
guess,
Dead
I
is
don't know.
comedy, and you can excuse that because that is what it is.
I think what I was comparing it to was like other horror movies that are like the same kind of vein, where it's like this reminded me of more of like a Conjuring film,
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, it's consolidated to a family and like it's all about the family dynamic and the mom is a crucial part of it, and it reminded me of like Conjuring 1, Conjuring 2.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, those movies had way more crappy things.
And, and the worst part is they had scenes that you would laugh at, but they were actually trying to be serious.
I did that in this movie too, though, and
I think
Gianna
I think
noticed
certain
that.
parts they weren't trying to be serious in this
Yeah.
movie, and I'm like, okay, so it's appropriate to laugh at these parts.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think like other movies who are horror and you laugh at them, I'm like, man, these directors were actually trying to be serious, and they took that all of a sudden became not serious. So at least this one you can be like, they know the continuity of like the Deadites aren't supposed to be serious. They're
demons.
They're just talk to you however they want to talk to you.
Yep.
They'll say
Yeah.
the most inappropriate things ever.
Yep.
Yeah, trying to get at you.
And they're
Trying to
not,
get
and
under
I
your
like how they reinforce that you know, all the Deadites in this movie, which is what they call the people who are infected. So everybody listening knows they're called Deadites. That they're not the person. They'll mimic the person, but they're not that person anymore.
The person's
Like,
already dead,
Yeah.
essentially.
they also, I also read that they didn't include canon from the show in this one because they said like the show's really good, but he was like it would confuse people who didn't watch the show, and I was like, yeah, but okay.
Now imagine they make a sequel to this one, and it's like just as campy as the show.
I'd be okay with that.
But it'd be funny because now you'd have a major audience being like, "What the fuck just happened?"
I mean, that's why about Evil Dead 1 and 2,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, that's why I think it'd be interesting. Like you get one solid horror,
Yeah.
and then that's it.
Yeah.
you're done. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like everybody should take the opportunity to rewatch the movies and watch the show because they really put a lot of work into all this, and like obviously their whole bank accounts, their whole lives into this. And this is a launch off for Sam Raimi too, where it started his career into everything. You know.
Yeah.
I really like all of it. I have no complaints.
Yeah, so I was just gonna say that in the first movie, they said that they took out a $300,000 loan to make the movie, and so it was a big gamble. And a lot of people in the beginning didn't like it. It wasn't until Stephen King saw it and said,
King promoted it, and that's why it made Evil Dead the way it was.
Blew it up.
Yeah,
He put a whole review on it. You know why? Because Stephen King gets a lot of hate from critics, like a lot, for everything he does, every movie wise or whatever. So I feel like Stephen King's like, I'm gonna give these guys the chance that like nobody, helped me with. I appreciate that because it spawned like a whole genre that was really good.
Yeah.
And everybody else didn't like it.
yeah. Bruce Campbell was talking about it during the show, the live show, where he was talking about how they used to open up newspapers to read like the review of it, and it was always like, oh, this is the most grotesque thing I've ever seen. And they're like, oh, okay, let's look at this other review. Oh, it was like all this negative stuff each time. They're like, oh, geez, okay, like we this was our gamble. This was our one shot.
As soon as Stephen King said it was really good, everybody started going, oh, it's really good. It's really
then
good.
everything changed.
There's a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah. I think it was just too different for the time because not other movies really had that much blood in it.
Yeah.
Even like the zombie movies at that time didn't have that much blood.
Yeah.
I think it was different, and some people don't like different, especially critics. I'm not a fan of critics because they're like, I feel like they think they're movie masters, but like it really,
it's so
it all
subjective.
comes down to how many people come and see the movie. That's really, really, and really it's the fans and the normal people who should be the critics of a movie and not so much the critics, because I feel like sometimes critics are like, oh yeah, but
you also need that endorsement from people because like that's how PewDiePie always makes these games popular. He's like, I'm gonna play Minecraft again. Everyone's like, Minecraft, oh my god.
But you need the endorsers from people who aren't critics, because who are these critics?
Yeah, you need like someone, an influencer who's like really.
Do you even know who the critics are?
No.
Then they're nameless, faceless people. I was just happy when I first read the article before we saw it that people loved it, and I was like, okay, because you can become attached to the movie franchise, like it's your baby. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm attached to Evil Dead.
Just in case.
I went in like, okay.
Yeah.
You know,
because it was a Blumhouse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. I went into the movie being like, it is what it is. At least they were able to do this. I went in and I was like, okay, take a deep breath. It's gonna be okay. It's not gonna be a shit movie. It's fine.
It's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
NFTs.
I thought the actors and actresses were like really solid in this movie too. I think a lot of times in a movie, like I get pulled out when like, oh, characters switch bodies or characters get possessed or stuff like that. I'm like, man, this is really silly, like the actor having to portray that.
Yeah.
But this one I didn't even like think that. So I was like, man, that must be like, it was a really good job because I wasn't thinking about that aspect of it.
Probably the best performance was by Staffney.
Yeah, Staffney.
Daphne was good.
She was killing it.
Daphne Blake.
As soon as I saw Stephanie, I was like, oh, Stephanie's going to kill somebody. Stephanie's going to kill somebody.
That's one of the things I was telling Gianna. Like, in terms of setup for a movie, I've never seen so much, like, okay, that's coming into play.
Yeah.
Like, the gate, I'm like, okay, I get it.
The scissors on the thing.
Yeah, like, there was so much planting that I was like,
all the objects that were used were a part of the cast.
Yeah,
Should have just had a credit in the movie.
It really felt like that, dude. It was like, what the hell? It's like when you put the gun in the play, and you're like, well, that's, except they're like, gun, wood chip. It's like, what the hell?
I feel like Evil Dead does that, though. Like, the show definitely did that a lot.
Did it?
Like,
I'm trying to remember.
Up, like his chainsaw flying, and they focused on the chainsaw. Like, I feel like it's. I don't know.
True. They do that with that. Yeah.
That's
The
what I said. I
chainsaw
feel like
definitely. That's like
and all of a sudden they're looking at his hand, kind
and
of thing.
The
like
boomstick.
Yeah, the boomstick. Yeah.
I wouldn't have been surprised if they showed that in the thing too in this movie. They're like, also, there's a chainsaw in here. Will that come into play?
Well, they did. I like how she took the chainsaw
at the end.
They said that said that they had a little like a little thing towards him, and I was like, oh. As soon as I saw the chainsaw, I was like, okay.
Yeah. And the saying that she said as she finished off that dead eye.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Sick.
like,
Even some of those shots reminded me of like Evil Dead 2 where the up close.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
I like the callback to Stephen King. I like how they did that because Stephen King made the Evil Dead, and I went, okay. They had a really, really big callback.
Yeah,
Stephen King.
it's in the trailer too.
It's in the trailer. Yeah. The
Shining.
Shining, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I was like, I appreciated that. Being a fan of Evil Dead and Stephen King, I was like, I love that. It's fine. That was a lot of blood, though.
Oh, and the other thing was the elevator was such a big focus because she even looks at the stairs. She's like, "Am I gonna walk down the stairs?"
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna take the elevator.
Yeah.
Imagine if she decided to take the stairs.
Yeah, but how the hell did they take the elevator later? I was like,
They fell the elevator.
I was like, oh, this is why she looked at the stairs because they're gonna have to jump down that hole, and they're like,
No.
all right, let's go in that elevator. I was like, what the fuck?
I think
that's destroyed.
I think that decision was like, I don't know whether a hint to like, she could have taken the stairs and everything relatively wouldn't have ended up the way that it was.
Yeah, I have no clue. Yeah.
I liked how they still use the wires. In every film, there's like,
it's usually the trees.
it's usually the trees wrapping around. I go, oh no, Sammy's getting a little SA. Sammy has this thing where like he ties women down with like the thing, and it's almost in every movie, in every show. It was even in the show, but they did. I was like, okay, all right, Sam Raimi, this is the time you can redeem yourself for this, and he didn't do it, and I was like, okay. But they did do the wrapping of the wires.
Yeah, the BDSM
around the
scene.
hand, and I was like, okay. All right, so that's another callback.
Yep.
I appreciated this movie. I walked away being like, okay. I didn't walk away. I think I walked away better than the last one. Yeah, I didn't feel cheated. I feel like this is a good beginning to another storyline,
which I hope they continue on. I was hoping with the other remake that they did.
Yeah,
2013 one. Yeah.
They might. That could be like
that was
another.
Good.
They could end up because it's obviously in the same timeline. Realistically, I think they're all the books. If there's all 3 books, and the 3 books can't be in different timelines, they're all in the same universe.
They just need
so there's
a new Bruce
opens the
Campbell.
possibility of Bruce. Well, no, actually, the show kind of ties it at the end. Where I don't think Bruce Campbell could show up in these.
Oh
films.
yeah, because of the way it ended.
The way it ended
really?
in those films,
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, he like I don't want to.
Unless they do season 4 and do
and
what,
fix whatever they ended up. I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah. What's up with the pregnancy thing in this movie? I felt that was so not needed.
I felt like the whole thing was like symbolic.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
But it really
I
wasn't
thought
needed.
This movie had a lot more symbolism than the other movies.
Hope, maybe. I just don't know what that means. Could her kid come out like a deadite? Maybe
That'd be wild.
I don't know because in the show there was like a baby that turned into a clone kind of thing. Based on evil itself, but she never was taken over, so I don't know.
No, I think it was like Matt was kind of saying. I think it was just like the fact that she didn't want to be a mother, and then she was kind of forced into this situation where
she's like a surrogate.
Yeah.
It was almost like she was forced to do everything.
But wouldn't it have been like more impactful if like she took the pregnancy test, it wasn't obvious if it was positive or not,
and then she took one at the end.
No, and then you find out when she goes, oh, 2 souls.
That would have made more sense
because that would have been like, oh shit, but instead the whole movie she's like, oh I was like,
the issue is I feel like
really on your nose.
I feel like they were trying to give her an internal conflict before the movie started, but I feel like the internal conflict should have tied together with the family for some reason. They never really played into like where the dad is, where they.
I thought they said that where he just like bounced.
He left.
He bounced, but it would have been better if like.
I would like that if he was the one
showed
at the
up,
cabin with the evil.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, that would have been a cool.
He ended up being
tie that
Ash
together
and
too.
stuff like that because I can't even say either because I don't want to spoil the show.
Trailer.
But it's not really a spoiler, is it?
Wait, I didn't hear what you said.
Just said it might have been Ash that was the dad.
No, I said the dad could end up being like Ash.
Oh.
But I don't want to spoil anything with the show either.
I don't know what you mean by that. So
you do know what I mean. The second. When they're in the high school and he talks to the woman he slept with.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that too much of a spoiler?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Ruh-roh, Raggy. I watched like 2-3 episodes.
Yeah, we
of
watched a couple of
very
episodes.
good.
It was good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
I actually was like, I'm mad at myself for not watching it when it was released.
How dare you not have stars?
Yeah.
I know it's stupid, but I was like, this is such a good show, and we followed back to back from the movies, because at the time we were watching, I had the bug, so I had no choice but to sit there and rewatch everything. And then we recently watched the newer one, so that was the one we kind of like. I was afraid to watch that. I remember watching it when I was younger in the movie theaters, and obviously not getting the whole like references and stuff. But then going back, I was like, okay, all right, I'll take it. Is it okay? This is definitely a remake of everything, but
yeah, big time.
Yeah.
But in this movie, I questioned.
Stars was also where we watched those other two movies. I just
one?
realized the escape room ones.
Oh,
And we canceled Stars because we're like, oh, we don't want to pay them money.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I see
Stephen
what.
Amell show too, right?
Oh, that's also on Stars
too?
Yeah, with Heels. Yeah, I think their second season is gonna come out sometime in the near future.
I gotta get a free trial,
man.
I questioned during the movie how long the Deadites were dead for, because in certain movies it takes them a long time to come back to where they are, and that setting them on fire killed it. Because remember they set her on fire in the kitchen.
Yeah.
One of the girls that didn't cleanse her, because in the book. In Ash vs. Evil, the
No,
book
yeah.
is like it cleanses them.
Because the priest also says in the recording
There's no real way.
that he also did set them on fire and it didn't do anything.
And dismember them.
Yeah.
Does it
So-
depend on which book you're using? Because Ash uses the book, and in the book it says you can burn them, you can dismember them,
guess so.
or
It must, because in the
Bury them
2013
alive.
one,
or
they said if you bury them, remember?
Yeah.
And that worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one they made sure to clarify like all those things don't
Don't
work.
work, yeah. So it must depend on the book.
Just turn them into
I
a
wonder-
smoothie.
Yeah.
I wonder
But even
if the
then, the evil
three.
still exists.
Yeah.
I wonder if the three books escalate. I wonder if it's Ash's one is the lesser one, and the third one, and then this one's the worst one.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I wonder.
Yeah, they really have to
because-
pump up the stakes though,
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
like, oh well.
So I was just like, because
Where's the
I'm
beef?
die hard at this point, so I'm like looking at every detail of the movie, being like. But I actually walked away being like, I like this movie. I watch this movie again. I watch this movie.
I want to watch it with Dan
Yeah.
because Dan would be scared of it.
On a projector at night.
Or in the theater with my Regal pass.
That's true, yeah.
True. With all of our Regal
Yeah.
passes, we were watching again.
Yeah.
He better get his Depends
Yeah,
ready.
but there was
Oh, yeah.
people in the movie theater who just got up. I forgot.
Yeah, over by our
Jenny.
friend. Yeah.
Jenny, yeah, she said that people got up and said, "This is disgusting," and left. They got up. I was like, "What did you expect?"
Yeah, Siebel did.
This is
There was a lot of
This is absolutely garbage.
You know what it was? It was the critics.
Yeah.
Oh,
there was a lot of blood, and there was like a
I'm going
cheese
back to
grater
my home at
scene.
comicbook.com.
Yeah, there was a cheese grater scene.
Yeah.
So that one I thought was going to be worse.
That was
And it
cool.
wasn't.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
expecting her to use like the
sounds
one
kinky.
that
To go-
makes the mozzarella
Yeah.
long
Oh,
strips.
yeah,
You
yeah.
have a little Parmesan grater
I was expecting it to be like that pencil in the ankle in the first movie. That's what I was expecting.
Oh yeah.
I like how her face. I like how it followed the rules of like the other movies were like. Even if it's like them doing it, if they like lick it or bite it, then you
get infected.
You turn in
Yeah.
it her slowly, or them even them following the remake one with the book, being like things happen from the book. I'm curious to see what other monsters are in that book, because the first one followed the monsters, things that happen in the book.
Yeah.
Curious, and that one's all pictures. This one's all pictures and not words.
Yeah, she became like a full Silent Hill monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did.
That was cool.
Yeah.
It's cool to see, and it makes me wonder, like, what if they did make a Silent Hill movie? And well, they are, but
Yeah, they're making a new one.
you know, because
With a
of
different
CGI
director.
and everything.
Yeah,
My
nope.
masterpiece. Yeah, you're like, no.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I made one great movie. It's like, wait, you made two movies.
Yeah,
He's like, don't act like you didn't make that shitty second one.
I like
know
that
it.
second one.
It's like My Speed Racer.
good, yeah.
I like it, but it's bad. Like I admit it's bad, but I like it.
I like the whole puppet monster in there. That was cool. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's a pup in the show. Sorry, I was just thinking about. There is a puppet master. There is a puppet of Ash that shows up where he's a puppet, and that's the Deadite
Oh,
is taking over the
On the
puppet.
show, and Ash
Yeah.
was
In the
evil there,
show, the Deadite took over the puppet of Ash, so it has the chainsaw hand. It has everything.
It was really funny. It was
and
really
it was a whole
awesome.
fight with a puppet. I I love this franchise because it makes me giggle, and it's not so much about horror. It's like that weird in between that nobody
both.
wants to touch.
It's horror and
Nobody wants
comedy.
to touch that horror comedy thing. Like it's like a.
What about Drag Me to Hell?
And Scary Movie.
Yeah.
But that's Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That nobody
Sam
liked.
Raimi did.
Drag Me to Hell is fucking awful.
That's,
I remember
yeah.
finding it not terrible when we
It's
initially
funny.
watched.
You
And I was like, I feel like Sam Raimi
It was
can't.
funny.
So stupid.
I feel like Sam
It was
Raimi
great.
can't make a horror movie without it being funny.
Yeah.
I think he tried his hardest, and I think it's still people still were laughing at the movie.
Yeah.
And I
Doctor
wonder
Strange
if that's
sucked.
part of
Doctor
the
Strange sucked,
Jedi
though, yeah.
franchise.
Doctor Strange, everyone's like, it's going to be the Marvel's first horror movie. It's like, you guys.
Sam Raimi's doing it.
I think it was terrible. I thought they made a lot of bad choices.
They did.
Yeah.
They did.
Sorry, it was a bad movie.
There was
It
no
was.
multiverse of
I-
madness.
No.
I was like, oh, and of course he had to add the dead Doctor Strange in it because Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's how the new Evil Dead was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
So
suggest going
pretty
to see it.
mid, huh?
I loved it. To be honest,
Pretty mid, pretty cringe.
Oh,
Trying to use the youthism.
wow, I was about to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that reminded me. Did anybody watch the Power Rangers?
Is that out?
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
No.
We watched it yesterday.
What
so.
about the
Why
Power
was it made in
Strangers?
cringe?
Well, I mean,
It's a
It was
Power
Power
Ranger
Rangers.
episode.
Speaking of
It was
mid.
like a longer Power Ranger episode.
yeah.
yeah.
I'm not a
So you saw
diehard
it?
fan.
Yeah, we
Yes.
saw it.
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks for mentioning it for the outline.
I just
That's okay.
I completely
God.
forgot that. Yeah.
I'm not a
This
diehard
fucking
fan.
podcast is over.
I'm not a diehard fan of Power Rangers, so
Yeah.
I was giggling. My brother very much was. My brother's when he was younger. My mom had like this glass coffee table. Don't know, 90s, whatever.
Yeah.
And left a hammer on it. Don't know, not my problem.
This is the 90s.
Power Rangers!
My brother was like closer to like AJ's age, so
Yeah.
like 2-ish, whatever. He took the hammer and went, "Go Power Rangers!" and smacked the butt and broke it all. I was like, "Who left a hammer with an infant like just like wandering around?" Whatever. When he went, "Go
I thought there
Power
was a good
Rangers!" and
soundbite
hit
there. You
the
said that so quickly.
yeah, "Go Power Rangers!" and went smack the
Oh my god.
yeah.
That's crazy.
And he broke the whole glass thing. So that's how I know Power Rangers is I know
Breaking
more
glass.
of
Sylvester
Dragon
Stallone
Ball
wept.
than I know like when I was younger. I know more of Dragon Ball than I did Power Rangers.
Oh, yeah.
So whether I missed that mark of like it being like super duper like I'm a girl.
Girls like
There's
Power
I get there's a lot of girls that
Yeah.
like Power Rangers.
There's
That's why
like
this.
two.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch. My brother watched it.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch it. I was
And
more
Rita
like,
Repulsa.
I like all the guys
I like
defending
Trini.
girls watching Power Rangers.
Yeah.
oh, so girls watch Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Said all the guys
Yeah.
here.
Go ahead. Why don't you all mansplain it to me? Like that?
Well,
Thank you.
Well, I could probably say with certainty Tony couldn't have liked it that much because one of the few things I know about this movie was the Pink Ranger actress didn't come back for it, right?
Yeah, but they do like pretend she's there.
She's like right off screen. Hey, what's
my
up,
God.
Kimberly?
Wait, they pretend it's the original Pink
Yes.
Ranger?
Yes.
Yeah, well,
They never take off their masks.
Yeah, so
Oh
there's
my
scenes
God.
with the Power Rangers where they're all in costume, and they use clips of the sound bites of them from the show
Wow.
to say that that's the original team.
Counting time.
Let go,
Counting
Jason.
Counting
They should just
Tommy.
use AI. I don't know.
So you would think Tommy would like slightly be in this, like
Yeah.
you'd be like, oh, he filmed a couple scenes and then unfortunately,
Yeah, no,
RIP.
he's-
Yeah.
He wasn't in any of it. They
that's
did the
it.
same thing with Trini. They did the same thing with Tommy. They did the same thing with the Pink Ranger.
Yeah,
did it all with all
so
those.
yeah, so Jason, Tommy, Kimberly, and Trini, they're all there, but they're in costume.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
You said specifically it's old clips from the show.
Oh,
How bad are the voice clips that you know that?
it's just
It's like these are voices from the 90s.
no, they clean up the audio. It's
Okay.
not like
They did
it's.
pretty- I didn't even know. I didn't even know it was from the
Radical.
older stuff. Coming from an outside, I didn't know
Oh,
it was
okay.
older stuff.
Yeah.
The whole plot is interesting. Meaning that like we all know the actress who played Trini died
Yeah.
a very long time ago.
Yeah.
Very long time ago. They made it seem like the plot is that she
died last
she
year.
died she died like
Fucking
a
COVID.
year before this movie happened.
Damn it, COVID.
Like you see her die in the show as the Yellow Ranger, and you're like, I was like, she's been dead
What if they read from the Necronomicon?
What if they just shot her?
No,
is that how they kill her?
So the plot is they have her daughter. She had a daughter.
After she died?
No, before she died.
Nah, damn.
Trini's my favorite character, so I'm like, I understand where they were coming from, but like to acknowledge her actress's death now.
Yeah, it kind of seems disrespectful.
A little bit. Like, I understand Tommy because he just passed away. But for them to be like, once a Ranger, always a Ranger at the end, I was like...
Well, when I saw the trailer, I saw them killing Trina. I'm like, this is not tasteful.
Yeah, it's not. It's not
I
tasteful.
think the reason why they did that
Not fun.
is because, like, in the comics, it's like the original team is still together, and there's like a lot more stories of the original team. So they didn't want to just say she died a long time ago because
they could have taken another Yellow Ranger that replaced her.
No, I'm saying in the comics, it's the original team, right?
Okay.
So if you say that Trini died a long time ago, it messes up the continuity of what would be in the comics.
Yeah, doesn't she get all beat up and use the giant mech suit?
In the comics? Yeah.
So I don't know. It's fine. I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
What do you think of it, Tony?
It was definitely like a Power Rangers,
Power Rangers.
right? So there's a lot of like cringy moments and like the subject matter. What I thought was interesting because it's dealing with like death and
Dealing
like
with grief, which is
grief and death,
for-
which I was like, oh, okay, like that's a little different. But it's still just as goofy as like the original Power Rangers, where like even the villains are like these goofy looking.
They made Tommy.
Blue's Billy.
Billy. They made Billy like the leader. I don't understand.
Yeah, so Billy owns like a company that's like because he was the smart one, so he has like this big company and stuff like
He
that.
wore glasses.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's how you know.
That's how you know. Yeah. But so it's
I don't wear glasses, but I understand.
Yeah, we could all get glasses,
I have.
even if we don't need them.
I need a prescription.
I need my glasses and I never wear them. So.
Yeah.
I'm a guy with
Oh
glasses.
shit.
Glasses.
oh glasses.
Billy, is that you?
To me, I'm
Oh my
Billy,
god.
is that you?
I am here.
Can I have a job?
Sure.
Everyone bullies. The whole time I was making fun of him.
You were making fun of the guy who was bullied the whole fucking time? You were making fun of Billy, the guy who left the show because he was fucking bullied for being gay? And you're
Holy
just making
shit.
fun of him while you're watching the new
fun
one?
of him because he was gay. I was just making fun of his.
Because he was a
earplugs.
fucking nerd.
He has earplugs, and
my
it's
God.
noticeably obvious that he got like.
He's got
You
pubes
can
growing out of his head.
Yeah, it's blatant. Like whoever did it did not a great job.
Maybe he got it before the advance of technology.
Don't know. I don't know, but he didn't age well. That's all I have to say. He aged very not well.
But so basically, Billy.
Everybody didn't age well. Maybe the Pink Ranger
Had
The one that
Zordon
they
age.
actually used.
Like shit.
The one they actually used, the Pink Ranger.
The other Pink
she was the
Ranger.
only one that aged well.
That's
it.
But so the Billy.
Not that Pink Ranger.
Oh.
The other. There's another Pink Ranger.
Sorry, let Tony.
Sorry, go on.
So no, so I was just trying to explain like so the reason why Rita Repulsa's back is because at the end of Power Rangers, I think at the end of like the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, there's like Zordon sacrifices himself and makes the Z wave, and that like I forgot it makes Rita good and Lord Zed. I don't remember if it was both of them, but it makes one of them good or something. But so now Billy's thing is the reason why it all starts up around now is because Billy's trying to get Zordon back, but by trying to reconstitute the Z wave. What?
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say he brought Zordon back, so he got rid of the Z wave.
Yeah, he undid.
No, he tried. Well, he tried to bring Zordon back, but by doing so, what he ends up bringing back is like the evil Repulsa.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah.
He's the reason Trini's
Quantumania
dead.
plot. Don't do that shit.
He's the reason why Trini's dead.
Wow.
But yeah, so
So she's just chilling all good, and then it's like, what? Yeah.
And she's a robot.
Seeping back into brain.
She's a robot too. I know.
so I think because the good Rita Repulsa is still out there somewhere, but it's the bad essence of Rita Repulsa that makes its way into the
King Piccolo.
yeah, yep. It's a crazy crossover.
I just meant the way that like you split into the good and evil parts. Or something.
No, it's basically like that. So, But yeah, I mean, it was a good overall like a Power Rangers experience. It's like like back to when you're a kid and watching Power Rangers. So it was a fun ride.
It's fun.
I do hope at some point they do start making like I don't know why people didn't like the movie. Like I thought the movie was awesome.
Oh, the old movie?
No, the new one. The new
Oh,
one.
yeah, the new movie. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
With Billy from
Stranger Things. Yeah, no, I like that movie.
I liked it a lot. So,
Yeah.
I hope they do try to make like a more mature version of Power Rangers again at some point because I thoroughly enjoy the movie. I don't know what the issue was why people didn't like it,
I
but
remember we played the game. Did we play the game before?
did we play it before? After it was Alex bought it. Remember the game?
Oh, no, there was
a lot of
another.
games.
Isn't there an older game?
Oh yeah, the
beat 'em up?
SNES one and the
Yeah.
Sega
Oh,
Genesis
Like
one.
one
Yeah,
of
yeah,
those
yeah.
before.
Yeah, yeah.
The new beat 'em up's good. The
Yeah, yeah.
Battle for the Grid is good.
Yeah.
Both great games. Yeah.
Let's go. Let's make a new one. Let's go.
Yep.
Like, instead of making this, make a new one, please.
Yeah, instead of Stranger Things, make more Power Rangers.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it was also cool to see like the you see like the replacement Rangers too. They came in like you see Adam and Aisha and Rocky, and then Rocky's in there. He's like,
I'm the Glass Ranger.
That's why I wasn't in Creed 3.
but no, it's cool to see everybody. I wish you were able to see everybody. You know, like if Jason came back, and obviously if Tommy would have filmed before he passed away, would have been cool, and see Kimberly too would have been cool. But
Austin St. John didn't come back for this?
yeah, no, but
Because he hates Billy. That's what it feels like.
I don't
right?
know. I don't know
like,
what it is.
The original Rangers that were
Yeah.
with Billy, they're like, fuck that. Billy's
Except
in this.
Zach.
Yeah. Zach's like, I'm cool with you. I go to Comic Cons all
Billy's
the time.
gonna be the lead character in this.
Yeah.
A nerd?
That's why I was like, some of the characters, the Black Ranger and stuff like that.
Zach, yeah.
Yeah. He came back and I was like, didn't you guys make him? It's fine.
Well,
Didn't you guys make
if he's
fun
only
of
want to
him?
come back, good for him for being a better guy.
Yeah.
But it kind of makes the other Rangers seem like
Yeah.
douchebags.
Yeah.
No, I know the Pink Ranger that she didn't even get a call.
I heard that her and
Jason?
Jason, David Frank, also they got calls and they didn't want to do it.
Oh,
They didn't
Yeah.
have enough money.
Because
Because
there's something with like however it was structured. They're like, no.
oh, wow.
So I don't know. I don't want to be.
Not with that
wanted them
nerd.
to be in it.
yeah.
be like, not with that nerd on set.
Oh my god.
They said they had reasons for not doing it. I have no clue.
Without seeing it, I feel like Billy was the B plot, and they're like, oh, I guess it has to be the A plot.
He definitely was like one of the main characters in the movie. And
Tommy, Jason, and Kimberly are off doing this awesome adventure, but Billy's doing this some stupid shit with his own
running
life.
a business?
I'm gonna go to
Make
space.
the movie about
after.
that.
And you're like, what? Space? Okay. Cool,
Yeah.
Billy.
When are the
Do your
Turbo
thing.
Rangers coming back?
Yeah, right.
There's snails.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't understand the whole aspect of it's it's going to be for the adults who watch the old one while you're making and like adults watch the young the old one again and like they made it popular again because they missed it and nostalgia, all that stuff. Why to make it the same as it was in the 90s doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, no, that's why I thought like it was a
Saban?
strange choice. Yeah. Like it was a
That's my guess.
All those kids in that rainbow, whatever.
yeah, no, I thought that was a strange choice too because you know that older people are watching this, but you still like geared it towards like the people like the young kids that are watching it.
Yeah, they gotta make it like iCarly where she drinks a beer.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Bulk and Skull need to smoke weed. We already know they did.
Yeah. There is a Bulk and Skull like callback kind of.
Are they robots too?
No.
Damn it.
But no, I thought we were gonna see them, but we didn't see them. But they did have something about like where they are now, kind of thing. So
What are they doing? I want to know. Spoil it.
Eating farts.
They own a sandwich shop. Or
What?
something like that.
Whoa!
Yeah,
That's the most Scooby Doo ass shit
They have a
ever.
poster. They have a poster that gets
Of
like,
their food
slammed through.
place,
Of
yeah.
their-
Wow.
I didn't hear that guy's voice. I think Chris Sabat, who like voices like Vegeta, Piccolo, but more so like his Yajirobe voice, or if you watch Yu Yu Hakusho, his Kuwabara voice. I wish I could like reproduce it. Either you the same thing as on Power Rangers.
Oh my god.
All right, well, that movie sounds like a good time either way. I want to
Yeah.
watch Billy run a business and like for some reason become a Power Ranger.
Finally.
Yeah.
Finally.
All right, Matt.
Yes?
We decided to check out a new show the other weekend. We watched almost the entire thing. Yeah. There's a Netflix show called Beef.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like...
With Steven Yeun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, with a less smushed head.
Yeah.
Yeah, spoilers for The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
It's a pregnant comedy girl, right? She
Yeah.
direct
Also,
that girl.
also the voice of Invincible.
Yep. Mm.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. So what do you know about her?
we watched her
Ali Wong.
special, Ali Wong special, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people knew about her, and this was kind of like my introduction. And then I looked her up, and I was like, oh, she voices a character on Big Mouth named Ali.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and she's
that.
apparently like a very accomplished comedian. So.
yeah. Very pregnant on her comedy.
That's one I know.
Yeah. So it seems like the show is called Beef. I guess little spoilers if you want to watch the show, because those two characters end up having beef with each other.
Oh.
Not like say share a cheeseburger like side to side Lady and the Tramp style, but like standard like road rage shit. It's like, yeah, it's like
Typical of where we live.
and what's there to say about the show? Like
It's unique because it is kind of like a weird dark comedy.
mhm.
Because there's like ridiculous stuff that happens, but there's also like the drama between the characters. And they're each trying to ruin each other's lives, it seems like, or make things just less enjoyable.
I'm going to make your life less enjoyable.
Shit.
Yeah, it's like each character I feel like has like a very real like human like story and like issues going on. Like Steven Yeun's character is basically broke. He's working these crappy like contractor type of jobs, and eventually becomes out of work, and he's like looking for like his place in life. And then I don't know, like I'm trying to think of like examples, but like then something completely asinine will happen where
Yeah, the road rage starts the whole chain of events, and then they're kind of like one-upping each other with like doing ridiculous thing.
The first things that happen, it starts with a road rage thing, and then I don't think they got to see each other's faces, but they saw the license plate and basically like followed her back home. Like the road rage went that far.
Wow.
And then he with his like background of like doing like jobs like fixing stuff around the house was just like, oh, like somehow he was able to like sort of like sweet talk into like being like let me help you like inspect some things, and then he before he leaves, he's like, can I use your bathroom? And he just pisses all over the floor.
Oh my god.
Like, this is like really golden. Like I haven't
Drank a single drop of water.
Yeah, I haven't drank
like,
water. I've only
2 days.
eaten like bags of salt for 2 days. Yeah, and that sets everything off in motion.
Yeah.
And she's like the opposite. She's like, I guess, like a entrepreneur. She's
accomplished, rich.
She's rich. She has octagonal glasses.
Amazing husband.
Yeah, that she doesn't fully appreciate.
Yeah.
Oh.
She does unspeakable things to herself with a gun.
Yeah, oh my god.
Is that episode 1 or 2? I think that's episode 1.
Is that one?
Yeah, if you're gonna diddle yourself with a gun, it's got to be in episode 1. That's the expression. Maybe it was episode 2. And no, it's a very interesting show. I mean, I guess what's supposed to be cool about it is like the majority of the cast is of Asian descent, and it has that sort of like focus on like those types of cultures, and shows that like they still like have church, and like it's like there's a very like religious portion of that community, like a Christian religious part of that community as well, but I feel like those are the undertones. It's just more so just like a very like unique, interesting story about these two characters that just like can't stand each other, and it takes them to Vegas, and
yeah, and they're just like ridiculous. They're not like fully evil, because there's that one part where he's trying to light the lady's car on fire, but then he sees like something in the car, and he's like,
yeah.
And he's just like wiping it down.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I don't know if you guys will ever watch the show, but yeah, it's I try to remember what one of his buddies does that puts him in jail. It's I don't know, but it's a good time. It's surprisingly entertaining for a show that's like you just sort of go into like, what's this about? And by the end, when the guy pisses all over the floor, like, oh, okay, I'm in.
You sold me.
This is pretty ridiculous. Yeah,
That's funny.
all right, sounds good. All right, what should we talk about next? You know what? We did a previous episode where we kind of like shot our load about the Super Mario movie.
Ooh.
That's what she said. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Totally is. I was curious what your thoughts were about the Super Mario movie.
I loved it. It was really good. I enjoyed it. It was pleasant. Like, look at it. It was pleasant to watch.
How many times did you listen to Peaches since the movie?
Peaches? No, not as much as I should have, because I was trying to avoid it. I was trying to avoid it like the whole week before we saw it. It was very, very hard to avoid it on TikTok.
Did you just see it?
We saw it last weekend. Not this Friday, the Friday before. Yeah. We saw that and D&D movie also.
Somebody got the Regal pass.
Yeah. So a lot of movies. We see two, you make up for the Regal pass.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
We still got to watch here.
yeah,
And
it's
Renfield.
really, really good.
Renfield too.
Yeah,
Renfield
Renfield,
also,
I
yeah.
really want to see, really,
Yeah.
really bad.
But back to the Mario
Yeah,
Brothers.
sorry.
Mary Bros very good. Pleasantly surprised. I didn't hate Mario's voice.
Yeah.
I love that they had Yoshi. You know, even just a little bit. It's been 3 weeks, guys.
Yeah, if you haven't seen
Don't
the highest
watch it.
grossing
Skip
animated
forward.
movie in
Yeah,
history.
that's true. To be fair, like everyone's seen it now, right?
You know,
It's the
if
highest
you haven't
grossing
seen it on
movie, like, ever.
TikTok, then you go to the movies. Okay,
The gym's so expensive, though.
then cancel it. God, how many times do I have to tell you? If you're not, it's getting warm outside. You can run outside.
Nature's your gym.
Thank you. When it gets cold, then don't
hibernate.
do it. But you can do it in the
I wish.
inside. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I liked how they had like they had their accents, but they explained it away as like part of the commercial. I like that. I like that they actually took aspects from the 1993 movie, like the fact that there was a portal in Brooklyn in the sewers to the Mushroom Kingdom. I was like, oh, I didn't expect them to do that.
Here we come. They got rid of my favorite line.
They cut that out,
They
yeah.
cut that.
Yeah.
Got rid of my favorite line.
I like seeing Mario's family and stuff like that, and seeing like
Seeing how they look like him, and you're like, oh, okay.
and I like how like the dad was like, oh, you're dragging your brother into this too, like, and you get to see like that conflict of him like trying to break out and do something different, and that they had like the fact that he was a construction worker beforehand, which is like from the original Mario Brothers, he was a construction worker, so that was cool. And there was just so many Easter eggs that I'm like, what's the sequel gonna have in there? Like, I know Yoshi, but they
No, they're gonna do Luigi's Mansion. Probably. That's what
That'd
I
be
think.
crazy.
I thought they just like glazed by it in this one, though.
They did.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted him to go Mario. You know, I wanted him to do that when he got to like Bowser's. I knew they glazed over it, but I really still want. I like
Charlie
how he
Day
was
said he
afraid
wanted
of
it too.
the dog, and I was like, "But you're gonna have a dog." I was like, "Right? Is a dog? It's
yeah, the ghost dog. You're talking
The
about,
ghost
that's
dog.
from the third one though, right?
Yeah.
Luigi Mansion 3 or 2.
I think it's in the
you
second
don't think
one.
they'd add it to the first?
I think
one
it's in the
if they did
second one.
Luigi's Mansion?
Well, if they did a movie, they probably combine all three. Of them.
Because the third one has Luigi.
Yeah, Luigi. Yeah.
They'll probably add Luigi the dog to the first one. They're gonna do that.
Love Luigi.
I don't know. I still think they're gonna do Mario, but they're also gonna like maybe move on to other franchises that they have. But I think the guy who runs Nintendo, I forgot his name, he's very afraid of cinema after the Mario.
Yep.
movie,
Yeah, 1993 one. Yeah.
So we're lucky to even get this. I don't know. He was
Well,
Good.
yeah, exactly. People like it, and they did play everything very safe, right? Like everything
very,
was.
very safe.
The most.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
most safe.
But yeah, no, I think if they do have a sequel, I would like to see more of the brother relationship, because I feel like they were separated for the majority of the movie.
Yeah.
It's like the Mario brothers, but this one's over here and that one's over there.
Yeah, that's what
I
we're
want to
talking
see them
about.
together, like their interactions with everything.
I never thought I'd want more Luigi out of a Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah.
I want more
definitely
Luigi.
more Luigi. I think the casting for the voices was very good. Whoever did that, I'm like, okay, I like you. You know.
I love the star guy too.
People said that's real.
Obama.
They said that's real depression, not Mario being rejected and playing the video games. They said that guy right there is real depression. I see Lumi. He's Lumi.
Yep.
He's the guy that hangs out with what's her face?
Rosalina.
Rosalina, yeah.
So does that mean?
That's Aluma. There's like a whole
Yeah,
bunch.
yeah.
Oh, okay, there's a whole bunch. Okay, there's a whole race of Luma.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Maybe that's what we'll get in the next one.
Yeah,
Probably.
maybe.
Crazy. Mario Galaxy.
They should have
that'd be
Mario Party as a movie.
Forget Wario. Let's just go out into the universe.
Yeah. Sequels
People
always
want
gotta have
Wario
crazier
to
stuff.
be Pedro Pascal or something.
Oh my
like that.
god.
They want like something like that.
I'm sure they don't want Elon Musk like he was in SNL.
You can do it. Yeah, why not? He could pay for it. He'll fund the whole next movie.
yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
And they want like somebody. Jack Black wanted it. I
Yeah.
think. He wanted specific people to be in the next one. I was like, okay.
Now
You funded
let's petition for Rebel Wilson to be Samus Aran.
it? Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm,
Yes.
Unlikely casting ends up being a good job, right? That's
Yeah.
what we learned from this one.
that's
so
true.
Yeah.
Rebel Wilson is Samus Aran.
Or I even said a Florence Poe would be really good.
Florence Poe, but that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was
We need like a bad
We
one
need
to
a
be
bad-
good.
And she's super serious, so like
Yeah.
very good actor.
We need the surprise casting
I
that
need her to
ends
be
up being
Samus.
good.
Sylvester Stallone is
Yeah.
Daisy.
Oh, that'd be good.
Oh.
Daisy.
Yes, yes.
Hey, you get glasses.
Yeah, yeah.
What do I think?
Or it could be Vin Diesel and just have it be like Groot. Only line is, "Hi, I'm Daisy." Just like Groot. I am Daisy. I am Daisy.
I just need them to make a Kirby movie, to be honest,
Yeah.
and I'll be satisfied.
Vin Diesel is Kirby.
Yes,
Oh.
because Kirby's the ultimate. Kirby's like the strongest. The strongest.
Yeah.
He's the strongest person in Nintendo world.
Bradley Cooper is Waddle Dee.
Oh my god. Yes,
we
The
make
Rock.
dreams happen here.
Sebastian Stan is gooey.
Oh, that'd be cool. I would dig that. I'm not gonna complain about that. Sebastian Stan could play just an umbrella. I'd be like, yes,
Perfect, bonita.
yeah,
Bonita. I feel bonita.
yes.
Good.
Didn't the movie leave you wanting more Diddy Kong?
Yeah.
Always.
I thought there was going to be a little bit
Just
more.
that
than
little tease.
Yeah.
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 It left me wanting more Yoshi, to be honest. I was like,
They had the tribe of Yoshi.
Yeah, the tribe.
Yeah,
and then Yoshi stopped and turned back, and I went, oh,
Didn't you find it weird that they like straight up showed Yoshi and then the
And then they tease Yoshi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I guess that's supposed to be the Yoshi that we know.
dude?
Like
There's
the
no
green
the
one.
Yoshi.
The
there's
green
like
one.
80
The green
Yoshis.
one.
The green,
This one.
the green ones that you drop it in the hole all the time.
Yeah, but you always got the green one back until you go to Star
It's not the same one. He comes out of a new egg.
I am a huge
He's reincarnated.
No, he's not.
Memories.
I'm a huge fan.
Of dying.
I'm a huge fan of Yoshi. Like,
Yeah.
we played Yoshi Woolly World.
Yeah.
One of my favorite games too.
But the other one, you stopped playing. What's
I
that?
did know the paper, the craft world.
Yeah, I heard that one was
Yeah.
not good.
Trash,
Yeah.
trash, trash.
That's so crazy.
It was annoying.
Yeah.
The gameplay itself, I go, we have to stop. I'm getting annoyed by the gameplay of it. The Woolly World, I suggest. Woolly World is like one of the best games I've played. I loved it.
You guys think it was weird that Peach came through like one of the giant Sonic rings into the Mushroom Kingdom?
Wait, what? They showed her coming through? I don't remember
Yeah.
that part. I remember her as a kid. They showed her coming through to the... I don't remember that.
I like how they just breezed by that also.
Oh, so that was like a low-key crossover.
I think so. It looked like one of the Sonic rings.
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate crossover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you could have the Yoshi.
Right.
I'll
right,
give
right.
you guys that.
Okay.
Because
Unless
Smash
you choose
Brothers has
another
a
color.
Yeah, then you're fucking out of the loop again.
I choose the yarn one.
Yeah. That's the movie they make is the Craft World one.
Oh my God.
It's like, no!
Woolly World is the best. And that in Woolly World you could have like the Yoshi figures, and every time you put it on, it gave you a new outfit or different skin for the Yoshi.
Yeah.
It was like,
I wish that game was on the Switch. It's not.
I cast Larry David as Yoshi.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
I love that.
Yoshi!
did Larry David die?
No.
Are you still alive?
Oh my god.
Was it weird
asking.
that Bernie
I'll
Sanders
be
played
checking the news
Cranky Kong?
after this.
Yeah, he could have been Cranky Kong. Bernie Sanders,
Sanders?
Larry David doing a Bernie Sanders
Yeah.
impression.
Yeah, yeah.
It was very Cranky Kong. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Donkey Kong. I
Apparently-
love Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong.
He apparently is like the person he is on that show in real life. I imagine he would probably read like 3 words, be like, "I'm not reading this," and just leave.
Wow.
They don't pay him like that crypto commercial did.
Yeah, that crypto, it must have been a lot.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They must have like, how long you need me for? 15 minutes? Okay, sure. I'll make it 10.
Yeah.
It must have been like the fastest, like 10 million bitcoins he ever made. I don't know, that'd be like, no, 0.001
Yeah.
billion crypto bitcoins. I
Yeah.
don't know how it works.
Yep. But yeah, no, it was a great movie. want to see more Mario and Luigi together, and just
You're usually more critical, Tony. I expected more of you.
yeah. Well, they played it super safe. I can't really nitpick
Super
too
Safe
much.
Brothers?
I know what it is. I know what it is.
What?
Did you guys also like D&D?
D&D was okay.
Yeah,
Why?
it was cool. I like that.
Okay.
Is it the Regal pass?
It's the pass.
It's the pass.
It's the pass.
You've become so forgiving. You've become so...
Like us.
Oh wow.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. We
wow.
haven't seen a bad.
It was-
Yeah, that's
Regal Pass.
yeah, we have yet to see a bad movie in the theater, and I'm like, is it because we're getting free movies?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
We must be more critical when we have to pay for it.
Yeah,
we're
it
paying
makes
for
sense.
$30 for 2 movies. That movie fucking sucked.
Yeah. Wow.
Man.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's the pass mentality because
It
I thought
probably
you'd
is.
be like, it was a paper thin plot, not that great.
It was. For the D&D, I wish they advertised a little bit more. They didn't do anything. I feel like
Oh, I love the D&D
Yeah.
movie.
It
a
was so
D&D
funny.
movie was
It
good
was funny,
for
yeah.
like a standalone movie. I was surprised.
Yeah.
But I feel like apparently they got delayed so much with COVID that it just got pushed back.
Damn.
And then at that point, it's like, how much advertising can you do?
I think it did well, though. I think it
I
did
think
well.
it did
Yeah.
well,
No, I didn't
but
check
it opened on the same weekend that Mario opened. I go, oh,
It opened before.
it did?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's because we
really?
saw it the same day.
Oh,
It's
like,
the Regal
okay.
Regal pass.
Yes, I see.
I mean, I don't hate it. I didn't hate it. I
Yeah.
actually liked it. I was like, okay, it was a movie.
I kept thinking of it as like turns, which was really neat.
Okay.
And when they tried to fly the giant guy out the window and he couldn't fly anymore, I was like, that's Rachel trying to fly.
When it was just a stone wall, you're like, yeah, that was
Yeah.
I think as soon as they pushed the guy out the window and they're like, we were gonna let you
Yeah.
go anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's good. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
the bird.
Yeah.
Did
There's a
you
lot of
see
things
they
that
made
that's a
new
turn.
game
Yeah.
That's a crow with a sword and like he has a hood, and I went, that's my character. My
Wow.
character. And it's all about him trying to
Ravenclaw.
find something. Yeah, might as well be. Take my name, why don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a fun movie.
I got a lot to catch up on.
Yeah.
Eventually. All right, so the other thing that you guys have been watching is the 3rd season of the Superman and Lois program.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's very different. It's different from the first 2. People are saying like, wow, this is actually like a CW show. Okay.
So was,
It's serious. It has some serious aspects to it.
wasn't it
like-
always serious?
It sounds like the first season all over again.
Yeah, it's like they went back, like they saw the end of season 2 and saw everybody complaining, and then they were like, oh, we can't do that. Let's go back to like
JK.
how like season 1 was.
Huh.
It's actually like really the quality is so much better in terms of the storytelling and everything.
Wow.
Too. I was like,
This is
Because
flashback.
every other show's ended, so they got like
They got
so
the
they got all the budget.
they
from
got the
them.
18.
Yeah.
Everyone
Wow.
else got fired.
Yeah. No, it was like it's
interesting.
such
Super
an
crazy.
interesting, like, especially the way I don't want to say too much about it, but it's like you get to see Clark struggle with
Something
something
he can't
that he
control.
can't do anything about.
Having a
Which
boner?
yeah, he
That
just
too.
can't put it down. It's
No, it's like
I know how to
serious-
handle that.
It's like serious like consequences.
A Kryptonian.
You see the impact of like on everybody, but it's more so that Clark's trying to come to terms with something that he can't fix, like he can't save.
His hairline.
That's
Oh my god.
Brings us to our sponsor, Keeps.
Oh, hymns.
Hymns, yeah.
Yeah.
Hers.
same thing, same company.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, but yeah, it's just it's this is the quality that should have been there like the whole time, but it's like now that it's back, I'm like, oh, good, like this is really good. They haven't introduced Lex yet, so I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but we'll have to see.
How many episodes are we in?
4 or 5.
Oh wow, that was quick.
Yeah. But no, it's even like the villain has like a motivation that you're like, I can understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
So
Who's
it's
the villain?
Bruno Mannheim.
Bruno Mars?
Oh.
Which
I
one's
feel like
that?
we did this before.
I feel like we have.
Yeah.
Which one's Bruno Mannheim?
He's the one in charge of Intergang, the one who.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Good. We're back.
Yeah. Okay.
I would like more of an explanation.
Yeah. My limited comic resources of paying how much for the DC app and reading 3 comics a month. My Regal pass of comics has. I know what Intergang is, so I said okay.
Is this a newer character?
So no, he's from like the older comics. What his whole thing was that he's from the slums of Metropolis, and he would like trade weapons with Darkseid, right? Because he had so they would call it Intergang. But his like motivation in the show is really good because he talks about like how he came from the slums and like everything he's trying to do is for the slums. And
he talks about like Superman. He goes, he saves everybody, but does he save
poverty?
No, does he save us here? Like
Save the
nobody's
economy.
working for our people here they call it the suicide slums.
Yeah.
They is anybody working for us here and trying to make the community better?
Can't
goes, Superman
Superman
is not-
really quickly just build great housing and like save all the slums?
That's the loophole.
but he's still bound by like laws. He can't just.
Can't
take-
Superman just say, if you
can he get a zoning
rule me
permit?
by laws, I'm gonna kill you?
I was waiting for so
Injustice
many.
Superman.
I mean,
There's one episode where the whole time I'm like, I'm waiting for Superman to fly this guy into space and just go and just leave him there and fly back down.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Flick him into space.
Yeah, he was so angry that he like walked out of the house. I don't think I'm gonna spoil it because it's not really like a big episode plot point.
Right. I guess that's a B plot of an episode. But
Somebody punches his kid and Superman gets like
the powered kid or the other one?
the other one.
Yeah.
Wrong
50-50.
The one and they also replaced that
Tenderize
guy.
that meat.
They
Yeah.
replaced the son, the blonde hair.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
He
yeah.
left the show,
He
right?
left the
yeah.
show because he didn't feel comfortable.
Because they
What?
didn't give him good shit to do.
Yeah, something like that.
What?
I don't know.
He
the
left
full
the show
details.
because he something about being persecuted or whatever. I don't know.
He
Whatever.
was bullied out of the show?
I don't know.
Billied.
He
I like
left
that
on
term.
the show. Oh no, I think it was like he came out as something.
Yeah,
I don't know,
a Billy.
something like that.
Because that's a Billy, the problem with Billy.
He left.
They found that
he
his
left,
real name was Billy.
But the guy they replaced him with, I was like, so much better. I go, he looks like the brother, and I go, these guys are twins. That makes more sense
Two
than
of them.
like.
So you got 2 seasons of one guy, and then like a soap opera, they're like, in this episode,
Yeah.
Billy,
The narration's there.
he will be
whole
played
first
by
episode.
this guy.
The first episode, I was like, "Who's that guy?
I wanna look up what he looks
Who
like.
is that
Yeah,
guy?"
I need to see the difference.
He looks closer to
Pokemon.
like the brother now, like curly brown hair.
Okay.
Looks closer. Wouldn't say the better actor, but like still,
Oh no, they
there's not
replaced
really
him with
much
a not
going
good
on
actor.
with him in general. So
Did they give a reason, or like Batwoman, where they're like, Kate had her face replaced. Now she's a different
Is
actress.
that what they did at Batwoman?
Apparently, the later season, yeah. When Kate comes back, they're like, the explosion changed her face.
Oh, jeez.
they didn't explain it like that. They just didn't
It's like,
explain it.
yeah, they're like,
They were just
this
like,
is
this
my
is him.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like Iron Man with.
Yeah. I'm here, deal with it.
They all-
Okay.
But there was the episode where his Kate got punched by, I think it's the girlfriend's dad, who was a bad guy.
Oh.
Yeah, that girl that gets, yeah.
He's got to get some powers.
Right?
And the guy's,
Whoa.
yeah, that's the new guy they replaced.
Whoa. Robert Pattinson meets that guy from Vampire Diaries.
What's the
looks
lead
more-
singer of Danimal
He
King?
looks more like the brother now. He's
got
because
bad
curly
spinal
hair, blah, 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 but he looks better than the other guy.
My brain made both brothers one person, so I really don't know which one he
Might as well be.
replaced.
And
This one's
Superman gets really, really
His
angry.
IMDb photo.
Oh.
So I said, now they look
so
similar
happy.
enough
Yeah.
to be like, okay. So he punches the one brother, the dad, and then the one brother walks away because obviously he doesn't have any powers. And Superman gets really, really angry. Where you're like, his eyes might as well have turned red. He left.
But he could shoot lasers out of them. They can turn
The
red.
reason why is Lois went to the guy's house and said, "Don't you ever touch my son again." And the guy like kind of pulled out a gun and he like threatened Lois.
Yeah.
And that's what made
Kansas.
Superman like lose it. And he went all the way to like the diner they were at. He threatened him.
Hey.
And the guy tried
Yeah,
to punch
it's like
him.
Superman 2.
Yeah.
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 That's
The guy tried
Superman
to punch him
2.
and he didn't move back. And I forgot what it was, but it scared him so much the guy left town.
Did he put his car through telephone wires and pretend to be really like, I'm not going to deal with this, and then have a super passive aggressive action like Man of Steel?
I don't think so.
There is a truck that remember, but that it wasn't him. It was his son who did it.
Yeah.
So they just copied both movies. That's why you're like, it's like the movie. This season's like a movie. It takes things right from the movie.
And then the filler episode, but then the main character, there's still that struggle that Superman can't help, and
He's got space cancer.
Oh my god.
no, but
But Lois does.
Oh.
Wow, it took me that short to figure out the whole problem of the show? 2 guesses?
not space.
Yeah, she's got regular cancer.
Regular cancer.
Well, I mean, if it was Lois.
She has like a type of cancer that's like really rare and
Wow.
really, like Superman has to go with her now
Got
that you
kryptonite
spoiled it.
HPV.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Now that you spoiled it, he has to go with her.
I didn't. I guessed it. You didn't have to say yes.
I didn't even say yes.
Your silence
I
said
just-
yes.
And the
Oh shit, he's right.
All I know is that Superman has to go with her to like the clinic as she's getting like
wow.
and stuff, and he can't help her as she's like. Really
Can he
sick.
X-ray vision find the cancer and like?
No, the issue is
Why did he
they
do
had
that?
it, but it was like. I'm not
Oh,
supposed
maybe
to
he was
spoil it.
looking at her through X-ray
So just say
vision too
spoilers.
Spoilers. Everybody who doesn't want to know, stop
Radiation.
knowing.
Stop knowing.
Yeah.
Forget what you just learned.
So Lois thinks she's pregnant again in the beginning
Oh.
because she has like tender breasts, all the symptoms. She goes into what's his face's sister's office.
John Henry Irons.
John Henry Iron's sister's office to interrogate her, but then they end up getting a test and it's not that. So they test more because she has all those symptoms. She has like metastatic breast cancer. That's like a specific kind. That's like, it's like third. What does they call it? Where like it's like
Stage 3.
Stage 3, metastatic breast cancer or something.
So like
that.
it just went to like the lymph nodes, but not to other organs.
She wouldn't have known. They said it was like a type of breast cancer that you wouldn't have been able to catch unless you caught the symptoms of it. So you would have died if you didn't catch the symptoms. So she caught the symptoms just because she thought she was pregnant.
I could, for some reason, in my brain, they're like, you didn't really want another kid, right? She's like, no.
they
I was like,
did. They
good
both-
news, you're not pregnant.
They both
so-
really, like, in an episode came to accept that they really wanted another.
No.
Before the testing?
No, so what happened was Lois thought she was pregnant, and then so then she finally reveals it to Clark, and then they're like, should we have another kid? Like, and so at the end of the episode, they're like, oh, you know what? Let's do it, right? But then that's when they get the results, and they're like, no, you're not.
What
pregnant.
results? He's Superman.
This is a
He
soap
could have
opera.
X-ray visioned and seen if there was a baby in there. He'd be like, Lois, that's not pregnancy. I'm not a doctor, but I'm pretty sure a baby needs a heartbeat, and that's cancer.
I don't know, but it ends up being like
you
super
wouldn't want to X-ray
emotional.
a
They had to
baby.
like tell everybody. They showed her telling her kids and stuff like that, and it became like very super like I was crying.
Yeah.
it's very
super
emotional.
Yeah, of course.
episode, which made everything like
Yeah, it's a
so
fucking
much more.
downer.
And Lois wants to like,
I'm
and then
upset. I haven't
and
seen
then
it.
this
Actually, that's where
this
I laugh.
season, Lois wants to like, she's struggling with being the same person. Like, you know how Lois is like very headstrong.
Yeah.
She wants to continue, but her body's like,
Yeah, she's going through chemo.
her body's not letting her.
This is like a season-long Jane story in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, this is how it should have been in Thor: Love and Thunder.
7 episodes. Yeah.
So it's like
Out.
Lois
real
is
life.
Lois. It's her internal struggle now. So now she's Superman's struggling because he can't help her, and she doesn't want him to baby her.
I think
Got a medical
Superman
degree.
should study a library really quick and learn how to deal with this cancer or
they
further
know-
the research.
They know
Just
the
laser
cancer,
it out of her
but
boobie.
Why doesn't he just cryogenically
Lance it off.
freeze her till they can find
Like
out
Mr.
the
Freeze? Superman just becomes Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, but he's Superman.
He blows his cold breath on her and throws her in like a trunk freezer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very impactful.
We'll
So
be
like, there's a
fine.
scene where like Superman's sitting in the chemo clinic when she's getting chemo. Lois is going to investigate Mannheim's office because it's his hospital. So she goes and does whatever Lois does. And Superman's covering for her. So he's talking to other cancer patients, being like, "What do you expect?" And they're like, "Oh, well, make sure that she doesn't lose that drive that she has because that's what's gonna keep her alive. Because at that, like, closer to the end, you're gonna question if you want to even be here anymore, like during it. So, yeah, it's
They should have put some limiter on Superman in this show where there's like, okay, he's Superman, but there's no outer space. There's no like going other planets. There's
like
no
grounded it.
Yeah, because if you did that, I wouldn't have been like, oh, okay, or like, you know.
I think it's not something that they could take out of her or something. It's like more like
Yeah,
It's, like, more
but Superman could
complicated
study everything and do
Yeah,
the research
true.
in a day
Yeah.
and be like, now I solved
he's
cancer
also
for everyone.
he's also dealing
He's
with,
so cool.
he's dealing with Mannheim has his blood, so he's creating these other supervillains
Yeah,
into like having his powers.
so his blood's gonna save Lois.
Yeah, why doesn't he
That's
just
probably-
transfuse it?
Probably something like that's gonna happen. Yeah.
I want to see.
I'm pretty sure
Superman just
everybody
drinking
has a
chemo.
blood type,
Yeah,
and that blood type they can't blood type Superman. How do they blood type? I don't even know how they got his blood. Really,
kryptonite needle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, they explain it.
Mm.
They stole it from the Department of Defense.
when Superman almost died in the last.
Oh,
Whoa.
Yeah.
He almost he actually almost died. Like they couldn't do anything to him because he's Superman. So I forgot why he did almost die.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. That's how impactful the second season was.
So hopefully this season continues being good and is not like me-brained, and then Superman studies the entire library and solves cancer for
last
everyone.
episode.
Yeah,
But
it's like
and the brother, Superman's brother, is now like good. Like
Oh.
they released him. They released him for helping him in the last season. Like he helped him get rid of this one.
The
person.
Bizarro World stuff.
Bizarro World.
Okay.
And he
I guess
now
he could have had
lives-
a whole
yeah.
season of redemption that I just was like in
Yeah.
my head. It was like he was bad, now he's good.
No, there was a whole season of
There was
redemption.
like he's now like good, and he like cares about his nephews. He gives them both cars. Like
Whoa.
he's rich
What?
because he owns
He's a
he
Funkle.
owns a company in the first season.
so where's his cancer research?
He's in Bizarro World.
He's in Bizarro World.
So you tell me they could find how to
try
make
you.
cancer worse in Bizarro World and bring it to our world.
I like it in Bizarro World. Everybody's got cancer. That's the only way to live. And you die.
Yeah,
That's true.
And then you die if you
opposite, right?
I'm afraid you don't have cancer anymore.
You've got like 1 year to live.
I think the excuse for him not being able to do anything is going to come up in this next episode. They're bringing back to life Bizarro. I'm pretty sure they're putting Superman's blood into.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
They're gonna cure Lois with his blood.
probably at some
Yeah.
point.
Because if they're saving Bizarro with his
But
blood.
the journey itself is super emotional
Yeah.
because you get to see like this you know it makes it relatable for
Wait
like people
a second. Shouldn't you save Bizarro by draining his blood?
I don't know because
Oh my
because
God.
it's, but Bizarro is in our world, so does that mean that he has to now, even if he's reversed, he follows the rules of our world?
Yeah, you have to put the needle in you, and then the other end in Bizarro.
Yeah.
And you need his blood for him to live.
I also was
Right.
like, oh,
For him to
Very
die.
confusing.
I
Yeah.
literally went, oh, Solomon Grundy. I went, oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're re-bringing him back to life after he died. They just
Born
had
on a
his corpse.
Tuesday.
Born on Tuesday.
I wonder if it was Tuesday.
God.
That's why I said you saw him. So Superman knows that they have his blood, but he doesn't know how they're doing it, and it's what's his face, Mannheim. Mannheim's in charge of that. So
I'm glad there's a good CW show.
yeah, that's why I was like, what people are like, this is CW? What?
Yeah.
I go, yeah, because they hired the right people.
Which brings me to my other question: that who's watching that Gotham was it Night's show?
We have to watch it because that one looks so fucking
Oh,
bad. It's
yes.
coming out.
Oh,
They
man,
canceled
that's
it.
right.
I thought there was stuff out.
I'm sorry.
They-
the
yeah.
grain had to churn in my brain.
They canceled it at first, and they're like, "This show isn't coming out." And me and Matt were like, "Yeah!" but now, yeah, it came out. Or it's coming out.
I saw it on the CW app.
Oh, so it's out.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah, so we got to watch that crap show.
Oh, jeez.
It's gonna be amazing.
I can't do it anymore.
We got to watch it enough
My
for it to get
CW was
remade.
broken.
Can we pull a Velma and have get it 5
Yeah,
seasons?
hate watch.
Oh yeah. Where we talk about it every single episode.
Yeah. And I'm like, what's the thumbnail on YouTube this time? I don't know. Where do I put Velma?
Yeah. So that's really Superman right now. It's interesting.
No, it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
this
sounds
season,
good.
It's like they took a 360
No scope.
darker.
Yeah.
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 Damn fucking kids.
Literally, but yeah, that's it.
Man, I'm going to start watching from this season.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Might as well. Yeah.
That's it.
You already know
Oh, wait,
everything
oh.
happens.
Yeah.
Lana Lang is divorced from her husband.
How's
now.
Kyle?
He's
He's
divorced.
okay.
He's
Like,
divorced.
yeah, he's.
They're
yeah.
divorced now.
I'm
And
sorry,
he's
Marion.
seeing like this other whatever. And also what's his face? John Henry wants to bang Lana Lang.
Lois and Lana?
No, just Lana. They had dinner together.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's the most that happens.
I mean,
really
that's
nice.
usually where dinner leads to.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
They want to do the most, but it's fine.
Nice.
That's really it. And you could jump in from this season because it's a new.
I believe it.
I would watch season 1 and then season 3.
No.
But how's the daughter? She's still the main character, right?
No, I mean she has her
She's
side
a
plot.
bitch.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. I don't like her. She treats the Superboy. I'm just gonna call him that. She treats him
Jordan.
like trash. She treats him. She drags him. She in the second season she was like, we're back together, and then in the beginning of this season she's like, just kidding, we're friends. And I'm like, you're trash. I go, I hate you. She's better now.
Tony's like,
She's
they
a
fixed
better
the writing.
character, kinda. She still treats Jordan like
I was just fascinated you guys didn't talk about her at all. When
Nope.
I watched the whole first season, I started watching the second, and I'm like, I think she's the main character of the show.
Yeah, she might.
I think she was more so than anyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's different now because she has like her
less-
moments, but it's not. She's
not the
very
whole-
side
thank
B
God.
kind of thing.
It's fine. I'd kill that girl.
I didn't even know she was in the show from every time we've talked about it.
We try to avoid it.
Oh yeah, we never really.
No.
So
discussed it.
she's like she's like Superman's Lana.
They made her
Lang.
look like Dorothy from Wizard of Oz, at least in the beginning.
Yeah.
I would call her Dorothy.
Yeah.
That's just me being a jerk.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine.
But it's like I'm saying, it's not the actress's fault. I'm saying they made her look like that.
Right, okay.
So
And they all know that Superman is Superman now. So Lana
Lois?
Lang knows
Lana.
Superman exists. And
You mean
that
everyone
he's
knows or
Clark-
just the
No, no, no.
immediates?
just Lana and
Just
her daughter.
her
Smallville.
family.
Just all of Smallville. That's it.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that little girl comes back where we're like, who are you? And that's the other daughter. You remember she showed up like a little bit, and I was like, who is that little?
Yeah, I forgot. I
had a
totally
younger
forgot now.
sister?
Yeah, she has a little sister. We totally
Oh,
forgot.
that does sound familiar.
She only
Yeah.
shows up
Where'd
like
she go?
I
Don't know. She doesn't show up through like most of the first
Yeah.
season, and then she shows up the
It's like
second.
in a
we're
weird cult.
That sounds like the fat kid from season like whatever of Cobra Kai where he just disappears.
Oh my god.
And they're like, "Where's he?" It's like, "Nah, see,
Yeah.
we're waiting for him to be skinny."
pretty much. And she grew so much, we're like, who is? Who?
Is it the same actress?
I think so.
Yeah.
yeah.
Apparently,
It's
she's
fine.
just like, yeah.
She's still
I
a
need
side
to
character.
work.
She doesn't really have any like characteristics. Nobody cares
That's
about
awesome.
her. But I like how they're going deeper with Henry Imes' daughter. I forgot her name.
Oh,
She's growing as a character.
Natasha,
Natasha, I think.
Natalie.
Natalie.
guys
Lois
are good
Lane
with
and
that. I don't
Henry
mind.
Imes' daughter
I don't remember names at all.
From the other universe?
from the other universe.
Oh.
Lois Lane was married to Henry Imes in the other universe. So they had a daughter together, and then Lois Lane in that universe got killed by Superman. Then they came to this universe where Lois Lane is still alive, and that was
Yes.
very complicated.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
anyways, they're doling out her character too as like she's part of the gang of the two boys, and they consider her like a sister because technically in the other universe that is their sister, and that's the name of the kid that Lois
Had a miscarriage,
had a miscarriage
with in
with
this
was going to
universe.
be that girl. So
That was season 1,
that was season
aka
one.
season fun.
Season
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
That was the first season where they dealt with that.
Yeah, I don't know how you get like. Well, I'm watching Batwoman still. I don't think I know any of the characters' names besides Kate and Luscious. Because I'm watching even Love Is Blind. I'm
What
like
about Alice?
Yeah.
Alice. Yeah, no, I forgot that
What
shit
about
too.
Tommy Elliott?
Yeah, but no, he's not really in the show, Tony.
Oh.
You watch 2 seconds
Yeah, they
of
just
5
mentioned his
episodes
name.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. But and when we watch Love Is Blind, I'm like, Squareface.
Yeah, that one guy in the first season looked like Tin Man that everybody goes to get like advice from. I'm like,
Yeah, that's all. I have to come up with these
Doesn't have a
nicknames so I remember who they are at all.
It's hard. Yeah.
Tony remembers. That's why I'm like,
Yeah.
I just know Henry.
Well, they
Hines.
say their name a bunch of times in the episode, so.
The same for every other show I watch. That's not sticking.
Yeah, you could watch from this season and be okay. You get confused. You can
Based
just
off
ask
the
us.
information provided in this episode, this has been your recap of Superman
Yeah,
and Lois
cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
oh my God.
on HBO Max, which they're going to change their name to Max.
Max.
Yeah.
My ex.
Yeah.
my ex.
They should just change it to HBO. Like, they already have that.
It's funny. It's like they. What happened with Cinemax? Did it become like bought out by HBO, or did it just go away and HBO picked up the Warrior show from it? Because I feel like
I think what happened. I don't know if Cinemax is even still around now, but I know at the time they wanted to do original programming, but then they decided it's too costly to do original programming, so then that's when they stopped. So then that's when HBO was like, hey, we'll take it.
I'm not sure like how they fit into like this current thing at all, but I feel like they win because the name's becoming Max, which was only in Cinemax. Like, HBO's going away, at least if that's
That's
true.
a really good point.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think it was intentional, but whoever made it was like, I win. I win the battle.
Winning.
Yeah, it was Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen bought
All along, it was
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen.
The Tiger Blood. All right, so let's dip into some video game stuff. Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a re-release.
Pokemon.
Oh, it's Pokemon.
No, it's not Pokemon, but you know,
Epic
it's
crossover.
that era. So, you want me in it?
You start first, and then
Okay. It's a game.
I
It's
went
good,
deep
I
on
guess.
Battle Network 2. Is that in this?
Hey, that's what I did.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the one I played.
Yeah.
Battle
I don't know
Network 2.
why I jumped into 2, but I was like, I really like that game. Yeah.
It's a
I
good-
won a copy from WB.
WW.
I was one of the phone call people.
Whoa.
Oh.
And
When the show was
that was the only time I've ever had luck in my life.
Oh my God.
And I wasted it on Battle Network 2.
All your goodwill's gone forever.
That was it.
That was it. It's
That was my moment.
on a similar side note, my dad was like caller number whatever to win concert tickets to Queen like a week or two ago.
Oh.
Which has what's his name?
Adam Lambert.
Yeah, Adam Lambert, exactly.
Nope.
He's singing for them. Yeah.
Did he win?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he won the tickets, and sometimes he's won stuff before where it's like my mom was like, I'm not going to that, and I get to go, but that one's like, no. I ain't getting to see no Queen.
Yeah, make out session with Adam Lambert for being a special
Whoa.
later.
That'd be cool.
Ooh.
What?
Your dad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Sharing the
That's on
wealth.
Jumbotron.
The kiss cam. This is him and Adam Lambert.
I think the game's good. I think it's better now that it has the
Buster Max mode.
Buster Max mode. You just from the beginning have a Buster Max, and you just hit the guy once and you're dead.
What's it released on?
Switch, PS4,
Everything?
PC.
Yeah.
Pretty much
Oh.
everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah,
I think it's very convenient because it gets very annoying how many people like Pokemon. Where you walk and you're like, I just want to get to here. Stop, Pokemon, stop running.
The random
You know,
encounters.
the random
Oh, yeah.
encounters, you know, after a while it's like I just want to get to the story plot of the game. I
Yeah.
like how he rollerblades. It's one of my favorite parts. I figured that out. I'm like, I don't have to walk. I could just rollerblade everywhere where I go. Yeah. So that's what I think about it.
Plug in and power up.
Yeah.
And all of the way that they say those things are very.
Jack in.
Yeah,
Jack in,
and
Jack
power
Jack out.
And I'm like, I
Fuck
can't.
the wall. Fuck the wall till Mega Man comes out.
I literally can't. I
There's a
literally was like,
statue? Yeah. Jack into this also.
Jack in.
Do you want to jack in? Do you want to jack off? I'm like,
Do you want to jack off?
pretty much what it's asking me. And I'm like, what? Okay.
That's awesome.
So what I really like about the franchise is that like they were trying to predict where we would be like in the future, and at the time it was like PETs. There were terminals that you connect to the internet. Now we have just smartphones that do the same thing, and it's like, oh, you can. And back then it was like a big deal. Oh, you could get email on here, and you could like communicate with other people and go on the internet. It's like, yeah, well now we got smartphones that just do all of that.
Way more advanced than they thought we would be.
In some areas, and other areas were catching up, like with the AI stuff, right? Because back then everybody had an
That's
AI.
super advanced. What are you talking about? AI is advanced.
No, but
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're agreeing.
Sorry, guys. I'm slow mo. I'm catching up. You know, when you
All good.
slow
All good.
Your YouTube video.
You're good.
me.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, so like everybody had a personal AI, and I think eventually we will get to that point because right now we have like the
Snapchat AI.
yeah. Oh
Yes.
yeah, see that's already starting up, right? Yeah.
I was like, no thanks.
And like even the way that video games are going to start using like NPCs with AI, right? So it's going to get to the point where we're going to be able to have just like our
I
own
want to keep my job,
AI.
so I would suggest
well
close down.
You don't want AI to just come by, jerk you off, and go home?
If it can make me money without if it can make me money without me working, that would be the best case scenario. But if it takes my job, I'm gonna just
Yeah, it's gonna-
find who lives.
Hey, Rachel, I'm done jerking you off. You want me to go do your job?
Yes.
I'll drive to work for you and
Yeah.
just do your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Do that.
Please.
I see you flicking the bean. Would you like me to assist you with your work?
Is this a paperclip?
It's just,
Fucking ow.
Hey guys.
yeah.
Fucking
Hey.
Furby, the paperclip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Paperclip.
Yeah. The middle part's just bent down.
Ow. No dull edges. No rounded edges on that.
Rusty, the tetanus paperclip.
But yeah.
Even the thought of that.
So Tony, you're playing these games of being like, oh yeah, the AI is like
Nostalgia.
Oh, technology. Yeah.
Sometimes they'll explain stuff to me. I'm like, all right. All right.
Do you need help switching fields?
All right. Cool. All right.
But,
I don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
No, but I think it's a lot of fun, especially from that perspective of being like, oh, this is like where they think we're gonna be, and like this is how far we are and how far we gotta go. And it's I also like the
My favorite character is the girl with the big forehead.
Whoa.
Yai, the rich girl.
Yeah,
Very
that's
nice.
The short one?
has a big
Yeah.
forehead.
In the
one with the
original, her
pigtails?
forehead's like this. She has a 9 head. Ooh, it's fine. Go ahead.
No. So I like the quality of life improvements they made to the game, whereas like you have Buster Max mode where instead of having to grind through all these different random encounters, you just go boom, 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 shoot them in the dead, and you keep going.
Love it. That's my favorite part.
That's crazy.
So you're saying you don't need to apply all the cards?
Nope.
No, you can turn it on and off whenever
You
you
just
want.
turn
to.
it into a Mega Man game.
Yeah.
How many shots does it take to kill him?
1.
It depends on the health. So each Mega Buster damage is 100.
So like the boss is like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
4 hits, that's it?
Yeah.
4 hits.
Aw.
But that's why what people tend to do is they'll turn on Buster Max mode until they get to the boss and then turn it off and then play like the regular game and then turn it back on when you got to get somewhere else.
No, I just go through everything. I just want the story.
Is there like
Give me
a
the story.
Buster medium mode where it's like does
50%
like
damage.
50%.
does 50 of that so I still feel like I'm playing?
No.
No. It's Buster Max on or off.
It sucks.
I'm okay with it because I want the story. I'm like,
Yeah. But that story's long.
Yeah. Well, what helps too is
Story plus mode shortens the story by 50%.
He gets ChatGPT to summarize the story.
Hi.
Yeah, would you like to skip this chapter? Yes or no?
That's it. There's no medium. But what helps is there's like people that have like maps of each area.
God.
So yeah,
like a
because
fucking
it
maze.
can get really confusing as to like where you're going, because at the time there were no like maps for the game. So there's I forgot the name of the guy's website, but you could look. They have it all over the internet because everybody's looking for it now.
GeoCities?
It looks like a GeoCity site. Like it's an older site. But
Mega Man ZX, dude, I would have killed at the time
to have maps
for a solid map of that game. That one has like doors everywhere, and if you walk through like a door, you're in a completely different area, and there's nothing to be like, this is how you get here. It's bad.
Jeez. Yeah. But that's why it helps. Like, what depending on who's playing, one of us will be with a map, being like, okay, you got to go left, right.
Yeah, because some of the guides will be like northeast. Like how?
What?
Yeah, but that's
turn
why we use the
northeast.
map
I was
now.
like, all right,
Yeah,
I don't know what you're
that
talking
it was
about.
like a gigantic like unravel map. Like,
Yeah, you're a cartographer.
Pretty much.
yeah.
A scroll.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought the map was in game, but no, you're just on the internet.
On the internet, using our PET devices.
and if you don't have the map, it's like a maze. The whole thing is a maze.
Wow, it's like corn.
Yeah, it's a maze.
It's a maze.
Wow.
Except you got to stop every 5 minutes for these things that attack you.
Yep.
Yeah, the
So
random
Buster
encounters.
mode is so
So
convenient.
helpful, yeah.
It's like it literally is like
Get out of here,
Pokemon
gameplay.
on steroids. It's
follow this
Pokemon on
map.
steroids with
Video
the
what?
amount of encounters that you have. It's on steroids. You can't even move like
There are a lot of
it's-
encounters.
It's random, so it's
random.
Yeah.
So, but it's a lot of encounters.
So random.
But so the game sold out in Japan, which is a big deal because everyone's like, they didn't think this game was going to do well.
Yeah.
But this game is actually doing really well, so people are really excited. They even released an extra chapter of the manga for it, where it was like Lan and Mega Man trying to get like the whole crew back together as like a reunion, and which was pretty cool. But what was I gonna say? Lost my train of thought. But yeah, so in terms of the show, so they had a show that was on Kids WB about Mega Man. It was network transmission, and it kind of followed like different plots from the game and stuff. Capcom recently released it on YouTube for free just to promote the game, and so what I thought was interesting and didn't know at the time was that there was Mega Man NT Warrior, which was the first 2 seasons. Then there was Mega Man Network Access, which was a whole nother like season show that I had no idea about. Like when Alex and I used to watch it in the mornings, the problem was when they showed it here in America, they would show like random episodes. So you always be like, wait, what?
Yeah, you had no clue what was going on.
Yeah. And then they were like, oh, why are the ratings so low now? It's like, yeah, because we don't know. First of all, we don't know when it's on. Second off, we don't know what's going on.
You never had a chance.
Yeah, exactly. But in Japan, they kept going, and there was like 5 seasons of the show. I'm like, what? And then there's also like 2 movies. I'm like, what is going on? There's so much more that we didn't get. But when they Capcom released it, they released the Japanese version too, and that's how you see like, oh, there's so much more to it. But they didn't dub it or sub it. So you have to look online for like fan subs of the show to try to watch it. But that's on my list too, because I think the plan is like we'll play the first game, then we'll watch the season that has to do with the first game, then we'll play the second game and go like that way. But yeah, it was yeah. Well, you saw the first episode. What did you think of the show?
It literally was the first scene of the game. Like I feel like I might not have needed to see the episode because it was the first like challenge of the game. The
was the
whole
first
story,
scenario,
nothing changed. That scenario, nothing changed from the first episode of the show to this.
It changed. So in the beginning, no, that's not what I'm saying. In the beginning, yeah, it follows as closely, but as it goes on, they introduce other elements and stuff like that.
Because
So
in the very beginning, it was like same like thing that happens in the show
it
happens.
was very faithful to the game. Yeah,
Yeah.
Is it well animated? Like,
yeah. It was around the time of Pokemon, so
Pokemon.
it's
So
got
it's
the same
animated
nice
like
like.
Pokemon.
oh, it's not. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That's how I can compare it to the random like
Encounters too, yeah.
and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Deep breaths, because sometimes I'm like, I'm right there. I just want to get to the, you know.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I suggest anybody that likes Mega Man and also likes Pokemon to check it out.
With the game, did they upgrade the graphics or anything, or is it basically
They have like a mode where it smooths out the pixels.
okay?
But yeah.
They gave it like a glossy finish.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no.
They're
Yeah,
like,
otherwise
that's all
not,
we
yeah.
could do with this. You're like, that's it.
Yeah.
But what's cool too is that they there were certain like at the time they had the Game Boy Advance attachment where you can get actual physical chips that you put in and would give the chips to Mega Man in the game. So there were some exclusive ones that you would only get like in Japan. When you go to see the movie, they would give you an exclusive chip. But as part of the game, they let you like have all of them. So it's like, oh, you get to try these new chips that you didn't get to use before, which is cool.
Interesting.
Game.
All right, so I mean, it sounds like overall good release, and it's doing well, and that might mean bright things for the Mega Man franchise.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
definitely.
Yeah, why aren't they making new shit?
Why aren't they making movies?
I mean, games.
Jump on.
Make like an ultra realistic PS5 game. Now that I have it,
Yeah.
that's what I'm getting.
A AAA Mega Man title, like God of War Mega Man.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Be intense.
I want it like I want those graphics.
Yeah.
And just like a fucking like old grizzled Mega Man's like over this shit. He's like, why am I aging? It's cyberspace.
When did AI start aging?
That could be the plot of the game.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it starts to fucking age, man.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. How's the controls going, Matt? Okay, America number 1. On the note of video games, I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, how's it?
It's really cool.
Is that the remake?
I think it's a brand new game, right?
Yeah, I think it's a new game.
I mean, it's been out for some years, but I don't think there's any.
Thinking of another Japanese game. Whatever.
Oh, okay, I don't think there was any earlier version of it. Matt, you played some of it, right?
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima.
I'm not thinking hard enough today.
That's okay.
Processing.
That's okay. We're getting back into the podcast groove.
Yeah.
Before we
like,
take more breaks
I'm
because
processing. I'm processing. It's cool.
no, because I played like these various games since having PS5, and PlayStation Daddy gives me good recommendations, and I'm backloaded with recommendations. But I was just like, I haven't played like a nice open world game yet, so I was like, everyone said really good things about it. I was like, let's do it. And it's cool. Just like, the plot of the game is basically you're a samurai in Japan trying to fight off like Mongols that basically invaded and took over.
Oh, cool.
That's the whole plot of the game essentially. So it's like you very clearly know what's going on, and it's like it's nothing confusing about it. They've taken over. They like have all these territories, and it's like you want to over time get into these territories and take them back if and then in terms of like the world, it's basically like if you've gone there, you've unlocked the map. Like it'll track you where you like rode on your horse as like this is like an unlocked part of the map. Like you could see like if there's like hidden things there that you should go back and investigate and stuff like that. And if you fight and win back over like a camp or whatever they call it, a fort, then you could fast travel there.
Cool.
And save yourself a lot of time. So it's like it gives you perks to do like side quests, be like you unlock fast travel and other like power ups and bonuses and stuff. And I think the story is fine. It's like it's I'm not like asking for I was gonna say Shakespeare, but I'm not. I don't think Shakespeare is like whatever. It was good for the time,
Yeah.
But I think that it's a very impressive game. It's got amazing graphics. It's a very pretty on the eyes game, and I guess and more so, it makes me like, oh, this is what Sonic Frontiers could have been.
Right?
It's like I could be playing. That could be. I wonder if there is like a whatchamacallit, like a mod where like they just put Sonic into the Ghost of Tsushima world.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure it's.
I could totally picture how it would be amazing. Just like instead of riding on a horse, you just Sonic speeding through this map and
That'd be
like
awesome, yeah.
jumping on top of houses and like humming an attack like Mongols.
Yeah.
Hey. Get down. Yeah, it's a very cool, impressive game, and my theory was right. And you guys played The Last of Us Part 2 already, right?
Not the whole thing, no.
But you got it.
Yeah.
And you paid the price they were charging for it at the time.
Yes.
We got it as a gift, so we didn't
Oh,
pay
well,
anything.
look at you. That's cool.
I forgot it was a gift. Yes.
I was like, I bet if I hold out, there's a good chance that there'll be like a sale. And sure enough, there was.
Oh, see?
It was like $8 or $9 or something like that. So I got that bought.
Awesome.
I know I need to play Uncharted in the correct order.
Yes.
But they had a sale on the Legacy of Thieves collection, if that's something that's what it's called. And Mark told me that's the most recent 2 games. So it's like there's the what's his name? Nathan Drake?
Yep.
The Nathan Drake collection, which is the first 3 games.
Right.
So I still need to get that. But I was like, if it's on sale, I'll just collect that shit
Keep
now.
it on backlog.
So,
yeah.
Even though, who knows, maybe it would have gotten even cheaper for all that. No, it was a good price because it was really cheap and it's 3 games. I mean, that was 2 games, but like, I was like, I think it's a win. So
yeah.
So I got The Last of Us Part 2. I got 2 Uncharted games.
Nice.
And I guess I need to start diving into the earlier ones. It just seems like a lot to play 5 games of a franchise.
Yeah.
So I imagine you gotta like play a game, play a different game, come back to it.
Yeah.
I think I've got enough games for the rest of my life. Yeah.
I think when we did Kingdom Hearts and we trudged through every game back to back, every game of Kingdom Hearts.
Wow.
Even the ones that were like the DS games and stuff like that.
Yep.
We played through
Dream
the console.
Drop Distance.
Yeah,
and...
everything. Played through everything before the new game.
Because
that
you wanted
intense.
because you wanted to be like ready for the new game, like as it came out.
I've never played it. Tony was able to play it.
Yeah, me and Alex played it.
I never got into playing it, so we were playing it more so for me for the story and everything. And
It's a
then,
Disney thing, right?
yeah, so I love Disney. So.
It's like Disney Final Fantasy together.
Yeah.
yeah,
So it seems like it would be up your alley.
yes, I liked it a lot.
Oh, okay.
So it comes I really love the character Axel. And it was a good game, but that was a game that took months
Yeah.
to maybe it took 4 months.
It took a long time. That's when we lived in the apartment.
Yeah, we had time,
Mm-hmm.
and we're Final Fantasy. We still have what game to play? We have that one.
Well, we beat the 7 remake, but we got to do the other one that we got. Forgot the name of it. The new one that's also part of Final Fantasy 7, Crisis Core or something. I forgot the name of it. But
We have it. It's
cool
sitting
name.
There,
yeah,
The other half of Final Fantasy VII.
but,
Or however much they did in this one.
it was good. That game was good. That was a good game suggestion.
Oh, is that the one that I'm supposed to play also? The PlayStation. It was Final Fantasy VII Integrate or something like that.
yeah. That's another piece of it. That's the other one, the other piece. So Final Fantasy 7 remake start with that.
Just as
That's the first one.
complicated as Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same.
Final Fantasy 7 remake, or I think it's called remake. Start with that. That's the first one.
What?
Integrate is the next piece.
But he told me to play that one. He's telling me to play the second one.
I guess. Well, maybe because maybe it's like a prequel to it. I don't know. I haven't played it yet. But Final Fantasy 7 remake is the main portion of it.
Okay. I'm gonna need this written
Tifa's
down.
in it, and you can see her big boobies.
Oh my god!
Oh, so where's this game sold?
No, Tifa doesn't have big boobies in this one, but
She does.
What happened to them?
she has sports bra.
Oh, support.
Yeah.
Like that gets rid of all boob, apparently.
All boob? Yeah.
All boob.
It turns it from
Let me
like
show you.
quadruple D's to like A cup.
I'll show people.
You're gonna show the comparison?
All right, this is very important. We're gonna see before and after.
Yep. Before sports bra, after sports bra.
Should we talk about something else while you're bringing this up?
Yes.
Oh, Matt.
What happened?
What the fuck you want? I was just wondering. Have you been playing the Resident Evil remake? Right?
Oh yeah, Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 is awesome. I love Resident Evil 4. We haven't gotten much further yet because we haven't really streamed more Resident Evil 4. We did finish Dead Space though.
Oh,
the remake
nice.
was awesome.
That was a remake too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So is that the thing now? Is that they're remaking these games with like updated? Well, it's not just graphics; it's everything, right? They update like the gameplay too.
Like quality of life improvements. That's what they call them.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Big time. I feel like this one. I think they added up the difficulty a little bit on Dead Space because I remember
Really?
it being a lot easier
Wow.
when I played it on the 360. This one was a lot more challenging. We actually put it on a little story mode difficulty. And one.
Which is fine. Yeah.
I always put on story mode, so no here. I want to see the story. I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to
Struggle
spend
my whole life
hours trying to get
yeah.
through one little part. I'm just wasting so much time. I don't have time for that.
Yeah. We played the majority of the game on normal difficulty.
Oh.
It was just the
Boots
final
were like
boss
that,
was
and
just
they
too
kinda
much.
made
Mm.
Yeah. But
And
yeah,
got-
Resident
yeah.
Evil 4 is
Less,
sick. They
yeah.
made so many changes to it. They have like neat little additions for this briefcase that where all your items are.
Yeah.
So you could add little charms
People
onto
were
them,
really,
and they
really
have
upset.
perks
She's
for
like-
your character. So they have a charm for like increased bullet dropping for like
Oh, cool.
handgun and like it increases the amount of health that you get and like crafting items. So yeah, I don't know, it's cool. Yeah,
That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
People were wearing bandanas.
This is a Final Fantasy character.
Yes.
That Rachel's showing me the pictures of. I only know her now by her chest, which apparently
Most people only know her for her chest.
her chest has multiple personalities.
oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, did you show Matt the
Oh,
comparison?
yeah, sure.
All right, bring it.
There was a couple, so give me a minute.
Yeah, there's like a lot of close-ups of this.
There's one where it's just close-ups of her chest in this one.
But the story is good too.
her personality.
I have a boob mouse.
Oh, that's her?
That's Tifa.
Oh, I can see why people would be upset then. Like, you can't make this anymore.
They like stop it. I don't want to go to.
No more support for the wrist, huh? Or wherever, like, wherever the boob mouse would do the
Yeah, just the lower
carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nice. All right. So while we bring that picture back, is that what's happening?
I'm trying.
Oh, I didn't realize it was so lost in the realm.
No, I don't know where I got it from.
Okay. So in terms of like other stuff caught up on or whatever, I'll go first. There was a movie that have you guys ever seen Chef?
No,
You're just aware of the internet's perception of it, right? Was it Oni? Who was the one?
That was Filthy Frank and that crew.
Okay.
Yeah. Where they do vomit cake and hair cake.
And what do they say about Chef in it again?
I'm a chef.
I'm a chef.
I'm chef. That's pretty much it. And then they slap the disc all over the wall.
Kind of like that.
Oh.
Chest comparison is very.
Interesting.
Very good.
Yeah, you want to show the camera?
Let's show the camera that they could see it.
So for people who are subscribed, you can kind of see it. Maybe?
Yeah, oh yeah.
There you go.
Just look up Tifa chest comparison.
So have you ever seen Chef? It's a Jon Favreau movie.
No, I haven't seen that.
I was listening to a podcast that he was on, and I've always been like aware of it and been like, oh, I wonder if this is an entertainment movie. And then like you see other movies about food, and like it could be good, it could be not so good. So I just never like really swayed me to be like, oh, let's check it out. But he was Jon Favreau was on the Smartless podcast, and he was saying how he did, he did like Elf, he did Iron Man 1 and 2, and then he went and made a movie that I don't know if anyone here's ever seen called like Cowboys and Aliens.
Yes, Cowboys and Aliens is great. He did that. What?
Apparently he directed that movie too. But that movie was not a financial success.
In my heart, it was.
Well, you're his biggest fan then. You go deep under the Favs. But he was like, in Hollywood, it doesn't matter like what you've done for them in the past. It's just what happened most recently. So since that movie kind of flopped, it was like a big step back for him, where like they wouldn't hire him for any more like big pictures anymore. So this ended up being like it wasn't like a very small budget, but comparatively to what he was doing before these big blockbusters, it was like a much more small story about so the movie, when you were talking about critics before, it actually kind of made me think of like, it made me think of this movie a little differently because I just watched it last night. I feel like this movie was a response to like critics, and like it's like how people may respond, like you put all your work and hard work into something, and then people are just so easy to doo on it and make your life so much harder, because this movie features his character freaking the fuck out at a food critic. And the movie's funny because it's like, maybe it was like in the earlier, like the first wave of Twitter, because they show it look like, I'm like, oh yeah, Twitter used to have like big box profile pictures and stuff like that. Where it's like he responds to the critics tweet review of his restaurant, and like how like the food was like uncreative and shit like that, and then he responds to his kid the next day being like, Dad, did you say something on Twitter? He's like, no, I just private messaged the guy. It's like, he wrote something, so I just wrote him a reply. It's like, Dad, that's public. And he's like, and he's like pretty casually, even though like it like blew up, and because he was like a very like high status chef. Had an interesting cast. I guess that's probably like where like the Hollywood, like he's still like he's got all his goodwill. Like Dustin Hoffman played the owner of the restaurant where he was the head chef. So like it's like they butt heads a lot. Be like, you hired me to like I would always have creative freedom in the kitchen. And Dustin Hoffman was like, forget what I said. I own this place. I pay your salary. It was like they had a big creative difference. And then there was like a random cameo with Robert Downey Jr. where Sofia Vergara was his ex-wife. And so Robert Downey Jr. was like an other ex-husband besides Jon Favreau's character. So they were like, what do you call it? Eskimo brothers?
Yeah.
That's cool. And the movies, it also got John Leguizamo in it. What? He's his what do you call it? Sous chef? Like he was like his second in command. And then the guy from Mr. Robot, the Italian guy, was in it too.
Man, the car dealer looking guy.
Yeah, the red wheelbarrow guy, Bobby Cannavale. He was in it as well, being like it was like the chain of like he was like the third or like the head of the line cooks or something like that. So after all the critic shit happens, like he ends up just like fucking leaving that job and trying to find his new path in life. And the movie was overall pretty entertaining. And you said that it's like even though it was a low budget movie, it got it was successful for what it cost. And then that's what kind of like led to him building back to where he is ever since, essentially, from the Jungle Books to the Lion Kings. And I didn't know, but it makes perfect sense. Have I shown you guys that there's this Apple TV show called Prehistoric? It's like Planet Earth, but with dinosaurs. It's like they use like very modern CGI and like what like archaeologists or what paleontologists know about dinosaurs to be like presented like a Nat Geo program.
Oh wow!
And apparently they use like the volume and the technology of like that they've been working on the past years since Mandalorian and been making that show. So Jon Favreau's involved with that as well. So it's like crazy how he's like somehow become this person who's like pioneering CGI effects and shit like that.
That's crazy.
How many vomit cakes were there in the movie?
Apparently there was a lot, and I just missed them all. Yeah, a lot of vomit cakes. There's a lot of yummy looking food, and they were all vomit cakes. So
I heard Jon Favreau is actually a legitimately good chef.
There was like a little flex at the beginning where they like showed like they couldn't fake it. Like they showed a continuous shot of him like chopping shit like.
Oh wow!
I'm like, wow, he only hacked off 3 of his fingers. That's good. I would have hacked off all of them.
Wow. Good for him.
Yeah.
Still got a few left.
Yeah, good old stubbies. Yeah. Stubby fabs. That's what we call them. Yeah. So it's on HBO Max if anyone wants to watch that movie.
Awesome.
Soon to be Max.
Max.
So Alex had to step away. I hope he's okay. You guys saw the movie Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw was a wild ride. It was interesting. So it's kind of a continuation. Well, it is a legitimate continuation of the Fast stories, but it's technically like its own creature of its own.
Like a spinoff?
Yeah, it's a spinoff between The Rock and what's his name?
Yeah, Jason Statham.
Yes, thank you. So Jason Statham, who plays Hobbs, and they don't like each other, but then they end up having to work together. They're like, listen, you're not going to get this job done if you don't work together. So they're like, what are you talking about? I'm never going to work with this guy ever. I'm going to beat him up. And then it turns out, well, guess what? They have to work together, and they start to get along, and they start actually completing this mission because there's this weird virus. Yes, there's a virus, and this is slightly before COVID. So it's a virus that's going to kill everybody. So they're trying to release this virus to the entire world, and it's got like these nanobot technologies inside of it.
Why not?
That infect the person's cells. But I mean, it seems like this woman took the virus and it gave her superpowers. So I'm like, is this really the bad virus that everybody's like stressing about? Yeah. So I don't know. So she's got the virus in her. You want spoilers?
Yeah.
So Jason Statham's sister is the one that got the virus in her hand.
No.
Yeah. So she's got.
But she has superpowers.
Yeah, she's the one that seems like she's got kind of like superpowers at the moment.
So she's like Wesker.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. It felt like a Resident Evil ripoff because the other guy that played Knuckles in the Sonic movie,
Idris Elba.
Thank you, Idris Elba. He's like the Wesker, and then she's like the Jill version when she got infected in like Resident Evil 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, they're trying to get his sister to extract the virus from her body, and they have this weird device that like connects to her arm and it filters her blood. It's like portable dialysis, and it extracts the virus out. But yeah, it takes like forever for some reason. And there's this big fight in like Samoa, like a Samoan fight, because The Rock goes back to his family on, I forgot what island.
Well, yeah, Rock actually is from like the Isles of Samoa, right? Like off of Africa.
Oh, all right. So yeah, that's where he was. He went to that island, met up with his family, and they have this big old fight. So they hack into the computers of
I'm having
of all the guns.
The router and echo device. So try restarting them. Unplug both of them. Then plug the router back in. Wait 30 seconds.
So they
connected to the internet. Plug in the echo device.
She got scared because you said the word hack.
Yeah, they hack into the and of the guns because all the guns are like interconnected to each other somehow.
Okay.
Yeah, so they
the guns have Wi-Fi, or
yeah, the guns have like a Wi-Fi technology, so they connect into the guns. Somebody hacks into it. They disable all the guns so they can't use them because they have like a genetic modifier that's able to detect if the person actually works for the people or not. And they hack that to make it where the guns don't recognize the people. And they're like, we're gonna have to brawl them. And so they're using like old Samoan weapons, like big old wooden mallets and everything, and fighting these people. So they have like an Avengers Endgame war on the island, like right in front of the family's house.
Wow, that's
Oh, I've seen trailers for this movie.
It's insane. I can't believe this movie. It was wild. And so, yep.
Does it feel like it's part of the Fast and Furious?
Not really. No, I don't. It doesn't. I didn't get the vibe that it was like too fast or furious at all.
No, cars are going like.
They did have some car stuff, but I feel like it was a lot more action.
Okay.
Yeah. Even though I guess they're all action, but I don't know. This one just seemed insane, especially when they went to the island and they're like getting like fake IDs to go onto planes, and Hobbs ends up like getting The Rock like cavity searched and everything. Yeah, because he's like,
it's my favorite time going to the airport.
Yeah, that'll keep him busy for a bit. And then it's like, oh, guess what? The Rock makes it out pretty quickly.
He has nothing to show.
No, he's
no
like,
butthole.
He's like, that's how you get back quickly for treating people with respect and kind. And I'm like, what?
Or he could have no butt for them to cavity search. So
yeah,
you'd be out pretty quick if that.
The Rock does strike me as someone,
Ken doll.
yeah, Ken doll like doesn't need to shit or something. Yeah.
So yeah, it was a wild ride, and then the ending had like a million different endings because also Ryan Reynolds. Seacrest. I'm just kidding. Ryan Reynolds.
You fucking had me.
I'm going through all the Ryans. So Ryan.
Yeah. So I was gonna keep going.
Ryan Reynolds is in there. He does a couple of funny jokes. And I was like, oh man, this movie seems like it's going to be fun, and it's just like insane.
So it sounds like they were trying to make like a superhero movie with Fast and Furious characters. That's what it sounds like.
It was a superhero movie. It was insane. It was probably the craziest thing. It's on Vudu.
Was it good, or like was it?
Were you not entertained?
Yeah, like because you haven't really said.
1 out of 10 hot dogs.
I gotta say, you just have to watch it. Like I can't even.
You can't rate it.
That's a cop out. Come on.
I want to say that to me, I've seen way worse movies. I'd probably give it like 5 hot dogs.
Okay.
Out
Out
of
10.
10.
All right.
I said 5 out of 10.
I didn't hear the
several
10. I didn't hear 10
Like-
hot dogs.
Okay. I said it several times, but.
All right.
It was an interesting watch.
Cool.
Oh my god.
Speaking of an interesting watch, what would you guys like to ask me about the Love is Blind live
Is it good?
finale? What?
1 out of 10 hot dogs.
The finale?
Yeah.
It was dog shit.
So it was 1 hot dog out of 10.
Sure.
Not even a half of a hot dog.
Well, dog shit is like the main ingredient in hot dogs.
So 10 hot dogs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
10 hot dogs.
Yeah, like it was 1 out of 10 in the best way.
Editor, you have to edit in a hot dog.
So first of
above my
all,
head.
there was this show, Love is Blind, which I have learned to appreciate and adore for what it is. Had their strategic, let's release like I think they released like the first half of the season at once, but then they trickle release the following the final episodes. I think they released all but the finale, and then the finale on a Friday for the live reunion on Sunday. So everyone would be kind of like caught up. It'd be all the buzz would be happening at the same time, and it would be amazing. They would break the internet. They did break the internet, specifically Netflix.
Oh.
So specifically their live their live broadcast.
Wow.
Netflix was fine otherwise, but my wife had her friend and her and her friend's fiance over to watch it with us, and like we're gonna have tea that way we could spill it. And it was just hilarious to be like, it's not working. Like it kept buffering, and then it would have like a screen saying like the stream will start soon, and it was supposed to start at 8 p.m. That came and went, nothing. Then like 8:10 or 8:15, they like, love is late, but it'll be worth it, or something like that. And then I decided to start going on Twitter to just like keep refreshing the feed with like the Love is Blind tag. It'd be like everyone was so fucking livid about it.
Oh, wow.
People had like huge functions around it, and it was just like,
Yeah, you're playing a part.
That's crazy.
and it was, and then they were like, and then the Instagram was like, oh, we're here, we're just waiting to like, they tell us like we're good to go, but like we're doing this live. And then I think they must have waited like 3 more minutes, because then they pre-recorded it.
Oh, wow.
And then they didn't put it up till the pre-recording was done. So it went up like a little over an hour late, and
Wow, that's a long time. To
yeah,
wait.
by then most people had checked out.
Yeah.
I learned from the internet, from like refreshing that Twitter feed, how like people got good bedtimes. Like they're like 9 o'clock, I'm going to bed. Like wow, good for
I'm
them.
10.
Wow.
I'm like in bed by like 9:30, 10.
50% of the people went to watch Succession. The other 49% of the people went to bed, and then we were the 1%. We're like, we're still gonna fucking watch this dog shit. And the finale, I mean, that live reunion was absolutely not worth waiting. Like it probably is enjoyable if you just watch it normally as a stream, but like something that was like,
Waited for.
yeah,
like,
you actually planned for this, you freak, you fool.
I always wanted to watch that show. Like I've always like planned on being like, oh, I want to watch.
The thing that won me over about, which I've already said to you guys, was I watched the first like episode of the first season, which I think Matt just started doing, and it was like a neat concept, but I had my brain created the wrong misconceptions about it. I was like, oh, they're in these pods, they don't get to see each other, and then they're gonna like propose, and then it was gonna be like a show that apparently also exists, like Married at First Sight, where like they get to see each other at the altar and decide if they have to get married. But that's not what this show is. This show, after they agree that they'll get engaged, or that like they do get engaged without seeing each other, then they get to see each other immediately afterwards, and then they get to like, they give them like a mini, like, what do you call it, like a honeymoon before you're married. They get to go on to like a tropical vacation. They get to start living their lives together and like start the wedding planning, and they do all these things. So it goes from being like this, like we're in the pods experiment, to being like your standard stupid reality show out in the world. And then that's the part that's candy to me.
Oh, okay.
That's the part that I was like, I thought they were just gonna stay in the pods the whole time, and I wasn't digging it. Which, who knows, maybe I would feel differently, because now I'm learning to appreciate the circle for what it is too, where they
want to watch that.
they do that. And then the worst part of the circle is when they do actually get to mainly the host of the show gets to do I watched the season 1 finale of The Circle too, and I was just like, oh, it's just as bad as the season 5 or whatever ending too. And it's like, I don't know, it like kind of falls apart.
I think you'd like the season 2 finale. Because that one, there's people that are extremely bitter over how situations turned out. And boy, it seemed like there's going to be a brawl right on stage.
That
but
sounds
there
good.
isn't. Yeah.
All
It's
right.
juicy.
My wife's and I plan, I think it's to go back and forth. Like we just finished the Circle season, so we're going to do a Love is Blind season and jump back and forth.
Such a good plan.
Yeah, I know, right? You got our whole marriage figured out.
I love it.
I gotta ask, how's the optimism corner been?
It's good. I got one fact for you guys today.
Ooh.
I'm lacking in facts, but it's a pretty good fact I found out the other day. So you know how the Titanic hit the iceberg on its
When?
side? Since it's the Titanic's anniversary, it's like 200th anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Titanic.
Yeah. It was like maybe last week was the anniversary of the iceberg. So they said if they would have hit the iceberg head on, they would have survived. The boat would have survived. But they said because they turned and it hit all of the side that they
had the Tokyo drift into that iceberg.
that they said that was the mistake. Not if they hit it head on, it would have dented the front a little, but they would have made it. The boat would have been injured, like
So it's the
damaged,
captain's fault.
but
Yeah,
Here's an idea.
Yeah.
well, they thought they could make it, but the issue is that they turned and it scraped the whole side.
So what's interesting and ironic about that is if they accepted death, they would have survived.
Yeah, they said they would have limped their way to where they were going, but they would have made it. They would have made it. So sad. Anyways, that's it.
That's your optimism for the week.
If you want to avoid it, just go straight at it.
No, exactly. I think those
You'll
are
live.
words to live by. It's like don't run away from your troubles.
Yeah.
You face
Go
them head
right
on.
into it.
Apply directly to the
Just
forehead.
know if you don't, you die. Not my problem, but it's fine. It is my problem, but it's fine.
That's right.
The knowledge of holding that information in my head.
Oh yeah. Did you guys want to talk about Inside Job? I'm sorry.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's nothing crazy.
I was like, we're done.
Just
Wait, there's one more thing.
No, it was 2 seasons. Very good show. I suggest it. It's just a goofy cartoon. It's on Netflix. Don't know why they canceled it. It was a very good show. It's a girl who's a scientist. She works at I forgot what the firm is called. Do you remember? I don't remember. But it's where all the conspiracies and all the propaganda is filtered to the people outside. It's like a government business. Her dad used to run the company. He's an alcoholic. It's almost like Rick and Morty style. A whole bunch of stuff goes down. The Illuminati's real. It's another section of the government. What else is real, dude?
Well, there's a lot of stuff, but I think now that you're talking about it out loud like that, like it's like a mix of Rick and Morty and Futurama.
Yeah, if it was just together. The idea of it was very good. You got attached to the characters. Like, I was very upset that they didn't renew it. It almost was like they were going to continue it. They got the green light to go, and they finished it, and Netflix went, no, we're good, thank you. After they promised them the next season. So people were really, really angry.
And I think the other element is that there were like serious like moments that was reminded me of Futurama, like when you had those episodes that were like, oh geez, like that hurt, like like that dog one. Oh, yeah. Someone always comes to mind. But yeah, there was stuff like that in the show too. So it was really good. I enjoyed
it. I think it's a good watch. It's like it reminds me of like a something that you watch on the side, but it's very good. We slammed through it in like a couple days.
Makes me feel like they probably had some of the same people working on it.
Probably even the graphics kind of reminded me of it. Yeah,
that's why I was like, it was very good. It had potential, and Netflix killed it. I'm surprised nobody else picked it up, like Hulu or whoever. But Hulu's having their own thing.
Yeah, everything from the '90s is back.
Yeah,
they're having their own thing. They're merging with Disney doesn't know what they want to do with Hulu, whether they want to merge it with Disney Plus or just like have it on its own. They're kind of like, they want to merge and just have one service that they own.
They bought Hulu?
Yeah,
they have Hulu.
Yeah, Disney owns Hulu.
Well, when did this happen?
That's why they offer the package, and they probably own ESPN too. Right?
Yeah, they got the sports.
For some reason. But
because Hulu is Fox. So when they bought Fox, they got Hulu.
Oh my
And they also got ESPN.
Oh my god.
This changes everything.
You like get up and run away.
All right, so now I need to figure it out.
Yeah, but I suggest it. It's a good watch. If you enjoy cartoon shows like American Dad, stuff like that, like Futurama, it's a good watch. I suggest it.
Yeah, I think it's more like Futurama than it is like American Dad.
Yeah. Well, I meant like.
Well, you already
if
said
like
them and Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
But if you like cartoon shows,
Yeah.
then you'll like it.
Adult education, adult animation.
Oh.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think with that, we're at the end of this here episode of the Pseudo Adults podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, checking it out, and we'll catch you in the next one, everyone.
Whoa. There's the ending. Whoa. I was almost afraid we weren't going to get it.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to do it.
Deep breath. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I guess I'm Rachel.
You guess you're Rachel?
I'm Alex too.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
And this is Tony.
Oh, that's where Alex went. You are.
I ate him like Herbie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, go on.
If you were to take on one of Alex's features and you were Kirby, which would it be?
Okay.
All right, and I'm Kyle. We're Pseudo
A beard and a
Adults.
beanie.
Oh my god.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace. Bye.
You gotta go.